Day 2, baby. Are you ready to rock and roll? With the best show who gets the best guests in the country right here for you each and every single day. We're going to start the program off with Who Won Today? Brand new segment on the show. We'll do that every single day during training camp. Who won today? We will do that. Joy Taylor, calm down, will join us at 4:30. I think we're going to get Xander sometime. He's got some work with the show to do, so he's working with that. Hopefully, we're going to be able to catch him. By the way, brand new member, and they are rolling in it. Thank you very much, Josh. Appreciate you coming aboard, being a new member here as we get ready to rock and roll. How you doing? Yes, sir. Now we're going to tone it down a bit now right here. The passing of Hulk Hogan. There is no doubt the centerpiece of the wrestling community is in mourning with the passing of the legendary Hulk Hogan. And, man, make no mistake about it. I love the guy. Great conversations with him. And it is really with a breaking of the heart that Hogan has passed away. Heart attack in Clearwater this morning. We started getting word of it as we got off the air in Tampa. And, okay, I mean, it's just without a doubt was one of the most troubling bits of news I had heard in a long time. Thank you, Hulk Hogan, for all the great wrestling memories. Thank you. Ozzy, for the amazing music, and Malcolm Jamal Warner for all the laughs, the Cosby Show. I mean, train, say your prayers and take your vitamins, brother, because what are you going to do when Hulkamania runs wild on you? There you go. What a legend, man. What an absolute legend. Crazy. We got Ozzy passing, and then we got Hulk Hogan. I had so many great conversations with the Hulkster. Davis had his best press conference. I saw it. We're going to talk about that. He said he's sick of sitting out third downs and finally getting the 3-down mindset he needs. I concur. I absolutely concur. Guys, please hit the like button. First 15 minutes are some of the most important. We appreciate all of you. Please hit that like button. And thank you so much for the supers and the memberships as we start off the day 2 of the National Football League's Eagles camp and other camps and other news around the NFL. So, used to be a place, I don't know if it's still there in Stanford, called the Rusty Scrupper. You used to go down, Rusty Scrupper, you go down, and you'd go down near the water, near West Beach, and you'd go down there, and they had a really great restaurant. I can't tell you how many times I used to go down there, and this is when I was in college. And Hulk Hogan would be down there, and I would talk, and he was such a football fan. And then when I got into wrestling, I became more accessible to being able to be around him. And he's just a great guy. I mean, just a really great guy. I mean, he introduced me to so many of the wrestling community guys that lived in Tampa too. So many guys that lived in the Tampa Bay area. Elizabeth was in the area. Scott Hall, who I became friends with because of Hulk Hogan. And, man, he was just a maverick in the wrestling business. There is no doubt the personality of wrestling is Hulk Hogan. He put it into the new era where you see wrestling today. He's the most influential wrestler of all time. Really is. So rest in peace, man. Make no mistake about it. I mean, just absolutely a maverick in the business. Was one of the greatest workers of all time. Was one of the greatest showmen of all time. Jesus, man. Ozzy and then him. Like I said, man, we'd sit around, we would just talk. He goes, "You ever want to get into business?" And I said, "I think so," and I did. You know, wrestlers and football players just don't live long. I mean, we just don't live long. Tons of my friends, I mean, no matter what you do, it's the profession of football and wrestling. You just don't live. Okay? You just don't live long. So, I mean, rest in peace, brother. Really appreciate it. All right. I love Vic Fangio. You know why I love Vic Fangio? Do you know why I love Vic Fangio? Because he speaks like Sills. I say it, you guys have your panties in a bind. Okay? He says it, it becomes gospel. Everything that I say and have said in the offseason, Vic Fangio, okay? Vic Fangio repeats what I say. Glad you're having Joy on. Competent women in sports. Absolutely, man. One of my producers, and I think a sensational talent. I can't wait to have her on at 4:30. She's a friend of my daughter's and my wife. We love her very much. Her brother coaches the D-line at the University of Miami. He's a Hall of Fame player. All of that. Okay? All of it. Very proud to have her on. Very proud to have Joy Taylor as our friend. Can't wait. All right. So that's at 4:30. Xander will try to get in again. He's doing some stuff behind the scenes, so we appreciate Xander trying to find some time for us a little bit later on. All right. By the way, you guys never heard this. We're going to go around the league tomorrow a little bit. We're going to go to the city of Chicago. And one of my dear friends and one of the greatest sports talk radio hosts in the history of America, his name is Mike North. He will be on tomorrow. I believe he's going to be on at 4:30 Eastern time. He is the Howard Eskin, Angelo Cataldi of sports talk in Chicago. One of the legendary voices in the history of Chicago. The Bears. His thoughts on the Eagles. We will get him on, and we will talk a little bit of football on what the Bears have done. We'll go around the league. We'll start going around the league a little bit here. Not just being so centric on what Philly's doing as well. So that'll be at 4:30. Hit the like button, guys. We appreciate you coming aboard here. Who won the day? Who won the day? Brand new topic on the program. So we wrote this down. Who do you believe won the day today? Our little resources and sources tell us there were a couple guys that won the day at Eagles Day 2 training camp. Who won the day? Here are your candidates. Moro Ajomo. By the way, we'll comment on what Vic and the players said. Number 2, is Leon in here? Leon, where are you? Adore Jackson is another candidate. Number 3, Jahad Campbell. And number 4, Mac McWilliams. Jaylen Hurts, obviously. I'm going to put the quarterback to the side here. Let me see something here, and let me go down this line here. What's today's date? July 24th. How many people remember Big Sills saying that Adoree Jackson would beat Keely Ringo's ass out at corner? I do, Big Sills. I do. I do. I remember you saying that. Who won the day? My winner is Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson, in my opinion, won the day. Keely Ringo, as Tupac would say, all eyes on you, bro. This is day 2. All eyes on you. How you doing? Hey, all eyes on you. Day 2. Keely Ringo. Am I starting to get concerned? Watch my face. No. Not yet. Not yet. What happened? Adoree Jackson. What was the word on Adoree Jackson? What did I get? What was it? Here it is. So let me get this. Here's what the comments are. Coaches want Keely Ringo to win the corner job, but it's been former SC and Giants corner Adoree Jackson so far in the first 2 days that has made all the noise. Oh, no way! No way! Can't be. Here's the other guys in the comments that the coaches have made. Mac McWilliams, I'm kind of shocked here. You know, he's quietly making a name for himself, and he's starting to get more reps with Vic in the slot and also at corner. Okay? Ajomo has shown athleticism, and he's trending towards what people think could have a pretty good year. I guess he rushed and pressured Tanner McKee on throws a few times today. So Moro Ajomo, that's a good thing, man. Holy cow. Now, you're right. Now, this is something to keep in mind here. Helmets and short sills, you're dead on. But I'll tell you what, for me, I at least here. If you're putting it on film and you're in helmets and shorts, every day you're being watched, you're being evaluated. Okay? I didn't hate on him. That's not true. I'll let you know what Vic said about Moro Ajomo. So we'll go to what the man said himself. Is that fair, Josh? We'll go there. I agree with this statement by M. Reyes. I'll tell you what, you name me a shitty LSU receiver. I'll make this point too, M. Reyes. You show me a shitty Ohio State receiver or a Bama receiver. I mean, you really don't. Okay? You rarely see shitty receivers out of those programs. You see really good ones that come out of the Keely Ringo. Is he in trouble already? Ruggs is not a shitty receiver. He never was. He had a shitty situation. Who said he sucked? I didn't. Hey, you doing? Hey, all good, man. Got to tell you, awesome stuff. So here they are. Who won the day? Adoree Jackson has won the day. Man, Ted Ginn Jr. was a good player. Played in the Super Bowl. How you doing? All right. I like to hear the name Mac McWilliams. I think it's great. Sills, Ringo's a safety, does not transition well because his hips are tight. Correct. That's right. It was the same at Georgia, but the talent is tougher there. Poor transition means straight line speed is not effective. And that goes back to tracking wideouts, like I said, Bob, remember? That's what I'm talking about here, is that the guy has trouble tracking. And I think that's what's going to be a problem. Look, if you're struggling a little bit here in helmets and shorts, you're going to struggle with pads on. And I heard somebody say, well, if I'd rather have him in position. Well, shit, if you can't cover people in helmets and shorts, how are you going to cover people with pads on? I mean, hey, again, it's day 2. It's helmets and shorts. Let's hang in there. But Dory Jackson is now subtly moving ahead of Keely Ringo. What a surprise. Like I said, he couldn't get on the field fucking a year ago, but now he's going to get on the field. And you traded away the better ball player and Isaiah Rodgers. Okay. Let's see what he can do. Won't be shocked if I see Cooper DeJean's ass out there as well. You bet, dog. I saw you over on my Twitter or my X account. Not a problem, man. I appreciate the comments you made. Thank you. Love it, man. Okay. Here's Senor, one of my favorite people. You know why? He has a love-hate relationship with Big Sills. Trade. He was a free agent. Yes, that's right, because they suspended him. I thought Isaiah Rodgers was a trade. I thought, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Who did I say? Dory Jackson. I knew Dory Jackson. He was cut by the Giants. What are you talking about? You must have misheard me, guy. Dory Jackson is a free agent. I know this. Once again, fucking take by this guy, not listening. Whatever, dude. We move on. So I got a Dory Jackson who won the day today. Boom! Day 2, Keely Ringo's now in the firing line. All right. So let's get to my favorite coach on the Philadelphia Eagles. You know who that is? That's Vic Fangio. You know why? He talks like Big Sills. And he echoes what Big Sill says. He echoes it. You're the only people that are in that river called denial. Let's get to Vic Fangio. So Jordan Davis, we'll get to the players here in a second, was asked about him coming in and being in shape. Didn't seem to impress him because it doesn't impress me either. Congratulations for not robbing a bank. It only took you 4 fucking years. And a lack of discipline. I'll tell you what I thought of the players' press conference. I liked it. But stop with this in shape shit. You're giving people roses for stuff that you shouldn't be giving people roses for. I mean, really? That's supposed to be a given. Isn't that part of your culture? Oh boy, we're going to get to all this. Hey, Leon, are you a little concerned about a Dory Jackson winning the day? He's shining over there at corner instead of Keely Ringo. Okay? Are you concerned? Leon, this is day 2 now. More praise is being shined on Dory Jackson. Are you a little concerned? Second day in a row. I'm just asking a question here. Okay? I'm just asking a question. You tell me, are you a little bit concerned? Right? Sills, you got to love Davis right now. Why would I love the guy? See him go out. What did he do that's so special? RC3 wants me to love the guy. What's he done special? Help me out. What are you giving him kudos for? What are you giving him kudos for? Being in shape? Never happened here. You're either going to be in shape to play and be a factor, or you're not. I completely agree. I completely agree. Okay? Hey, Sue, congratulations. Thank you very much for making my steak dinner. Thanks, Sue. Thanks for bringing me my Corona. Appreciate it. All right. He wasn't impressed, and nor am I. I'll get to Jordan here in a minute. Let's see here. Oh, this is the best line of the day. We have a lot. Get this. We have a lot of jobs open right now. And it's going to be interesting to see who wins it. And as of right now, I have no answer on who's going to win them. Hello? Wait a minute. That's how I say it. That's what I said. We have a ton of job openings. There's a lot of jobs open right now, according to your defensive coordinator's comments today. You guys are the only ones slugging people in. He's not. Thank you very much. This is dope right here, man. Thank you. We appreciate you. Get this. Wait, hang on. A lot of jobs? That's what he fucking said. Yes. Yes. I didn't say it. He said it. Your defensive coordinator who had the number one defense in the NFL. That's not exactly what he said. Here's exactly what he said. We have a lot of jobs open, and I couldn't tell you who's going to win them if you asked me right now. Fucking bait him. How you doing? That's what I've been telling you. You don't know who's going to win these gigs. Second day of practice. Sills thinks he's a coach. No, I don't. I would never want to be a coach. I'm just telling you, Vic's saying the same shit I'm saying. So this might be crazy, but McWilliams could get the number 2 job. I said it on draft day. I tell you what, Kyle. He had a great day today. Had a great day. So let's keep continuing on what the legendary Vic Fangio, maybe because his last name ends in O. I'll tell you what, man. One of the very first recruits, that guy recruited me. I love the guy. So get this. Cooper DeJean will be in base at safety or at corner. And you know what he said? Based on the rest of the roster and how it shakes out, will determine it on what's for the best for the team. Wherever you have your weakness, like we said yesterday, Cooper's going to... Why do you think when I ask you a question, you think they're fucking just questions that I'm asking you to fill time? They're questions that the coordinator said the same thing today on. He said the same thing that I said yesterday to you. Cooper's going to play in the places that you're the weakest. You may see him more at corner this year than you do in the slot. May the best man win every position. Amen, Derek. Thank you for the super. Absolutely the truth. Tell you what, it also shows you here. Oh, my God. And you know what, too? Something new. Let me write this down. Something new. Okay? So Cooper's going to play multiple positions. Okay? He's going to play multiple positions. In base, he might be at safety. In base, he might be a corner. Depending on how the roster shakes out. Which means code for this. wherever we need the most help, Cooper DeJean's going to play. That's what we said yesterday to you. Jahad Campbell. It's good to see him out there. Hard to determine. We've been kind of working with him, during OTAs and such. Now, we were working some drills with him. And, it's great to see him running around out there. And the word is today, he looked very good out there, running around and knowing what to do. I love this one here. Coaching. He goes like this: technique and adjustments. This is what's going to tell us who's going to play. Here's the awful news. He did not seem very comfortable and very confident that Nakobe Dean was going to play in the first half of the season, let alone the first 4 games. Okay? He did not seem very comfortable and putting it out there. When asked the question about Dean, he did not seem very comfortable that he was going to have him in the early part of the year. And people were following up questions like, hey, man, is that going to hurt him? What do you mean that's the end of him? Especially if Campbell ascends to being the starter. You're not taking a first-round pick out for a guy who's constantly in and out of the lineup. He's been injured every year you've had him. And nor do I want to take the process away from Jahad Campbell by yanking him out just to get reps for Nakobe Dean when he's not going to be on the team next year. I love the way Vic coaches. Best man win. Best man wins the gig. By the way, nobody's saying that Dean's a bad player here. But you can't rely on the guy and build an offense. You can't build cohesiveness with a guy in and out of the lineup. It's a shame, too. Okay? It's a shame. It's true. Flexen's right. Health is wealth. He's dead on with that. And what the worst thing is that Campbell's a first-round pick. You're not going to take that kid out to put a third-rounder in. That's not going to work like that. Okay. This is something else that he said. They're going to work him a little at edge. We said this yesterday. Man, I could potentially see if Dean comes back, you got Dean and Trotter in the middle, and you got Bond and Campbell as rotational pieces on the edge. I think that could be something. But again, I'm going to get to a point that Vic, in the way he was talking. Q, get this. This was a great line. Darius Slay not being there has no impact on Quinyon Mitchell whatsoever. He has it's no impact on him at all, according to Vic Fangio. Vic said it had zero impact. Zero impact. Yo, Sil, something you guys brought up yesterday. Do you think Jerry has buyer's remorse on his guys, which is why he doesn't sign these guys early? I just think he's set in his ways, and I just think he's a train wreck of a general manager. You're thinking too smart, Riot. He's not a smart general manager. He's just not a smart GM. He hasn't been for 30 years. Don't talk like you're smart. You're right. But he's not smart. Hey, Sills, do you think Jahad's injury may actually help him in the long run as he's not focused on the physical aspect and has been focusing on the mental aspect during the offseason, reading a playbook, understanding techniques? Sure. Instead of going out there and relying on your ability, especially in the NFL, you got to rely on technique. Absolutely. There's something to that. I won't dismiss that. Okay? Absolutely. Okay? CeeDee Brown, kid needs reps. Kid needs reps. We've been saying it the whole time. Guy's been injured, and he hasn't had reps. You really don't know what he is. He has no idea who he is. Nobody does. You're just guessing. Vic Fangio told you he needs reps. I don't know who he is. As usual, Big Sills is right again. Jaylen Hunt getting love and Andrew Makuba from the players yesterday. Vic thought it was a joke. He goes, "Did you laugh?" Oh, man, he's just too good. I know why he's not a head coach. Did you laugh at Jaylen Hunt? Long way to go, he said, especially for a college kid. Vic's the best, man. He'll put you back in your place, doesn't he? Yeah, right. Okay. Surely you got – nobody – get this. And nobody in the media said they laughed when they heard those guys talking. He goes, no, it's laughable. He thought it was laughable. We're talking about Jaylen Hunt and Andrew Makuba. These, by the way, these are the words of your DC. These are not my words. Okay? No, get this. You see this? No, Crowley, he asked somebody and he goes, "Did you guys laugh?" This guy's lying to you. Go back and watch it. It's on the fucking website. It's on their X account. Very simple. Click, listen. But you see, a guy like Crowley can't do that because he doesn't want to listen. Boy, I'll tell you what's funny. I bring back what people are saying, basically echoing what I've been saying the entire offseason on your defensive coordinator, and you start fucking crying. My bold prediction: CeeDee Brown to Bungles for Trey and a 1-year prove-it deal. Trey is going to sign a 1-year prove-it deal in Philly? Trey Hendrickson is looking for a $39 to $40 million contract. And you think he's going to 1-year prove-it deal? Why would he show up? Why would that guy show up on a 1-year prove-it deal? Hey, and by the way, you trade CeeDee, the Browns would never do it for that shitty player. For Trey Hendrickson? So Trey Hendrickson is going to play out 1 year and then not sign in Philly and then go somewhere else and become a free agent and sign for $42 million. Not likely. How he's not doing that? Trey Hendrickson. By the way, I've been saying it since the Super Bowl. You won a Super Bowl without a dominant edge rusher. You don't need one. What you need is a dominant edge setter. You hear what I'm saying? A dominant edge setter. What did I take away from Vic Fangio today that you should be very interested in keeping an eye on? Two things are happening. What are the two things that you took away from that will be significantly different from last year's defense? Let me hear it. Oh, by the way, what did he say about Moro Jomo? It'll be by committee with the amount of reps to pick up for Milton Williams. So as good as you guys think Moro Jomo is, Vic said today in the presser that it'll be more of committee on picking up all those snaps. Snaps will increase, and the majority of those snaps will be by committee. You're replacing one guy with three. Yeah, you're right. Easily replaced. Okay. From the mouth of your head man on defense. I didn't say that. He did. by committee. Milton Williams was not by committee. So you'll have 3 or 4 guys having to replace all them reps, according to your defensive coordinator today. All right. What did you learn listening to Vic Fangio today on what will be significantly different with your defense this year than it was, let's see, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Let's see. And wait, February, March, April, May, June, July. In 6 months, what will be the most significant thing that will be installed in the 2025 defense? What was the 2 takeaways? 2 takeaways. What was the 2? 2 takeaways that you took from Vic Fangio today. You might not be smart enough to pick it up because I'm not thinking you can be. You're worried about other dumb shit. I'm trying to help you here. Oh, Leon is starting to go in the room here. Nice job, Leon. Very attentive. You're now moving up to tier 1 as one of my smarter football people. That's a tier 1. You're almost there, though. Almost there. Almost there. Okay? Almost there. Let's see here. Cooper DeJean will play up in the box more, okay? Here's what's different. We haven't seen this in 4 years. Someone correct me if I'm wrong here on this. Someone with a brain cell, too. Let's see here. Quinyon Mitchell's going to travel. Hey, Leon, did Darius Slay ever travel? In the years he was here, did Darius Slay ever travel? Did Darius Slay travel at any time since he's been a Philadelphia Eagle? With Jefferson, so it was spotty? Because I don't remember. Like once or twice? Okay. Well, the way I took it, Q's going to travel more. That's pretty remarkable for a guy that's in his second year. Okay? And he's going to travel more. And he's going to be going back and forth on whatever side of the field is. That is a lot of communication. What else does that do for one other player? I'm going to write his name down. You could see his brain, what he's thinking here. What else does that help? And who else does that help when you got Quinyon Mitchell traveling? Okay? Actually, it makes it easier for Ringo. They're going to put Ringo on the lesser player. What player do you think this helps out more if Quinyon Mitchell is traveling? What do you think? Pick a guy. Because if you're traveling and you're going back and forth, what is the most essential thing that you have to have back there in that secondary? What is the most important thing you have to have? Tell me, folks. If you're traveling like that, I don't think Cooper DeJean is going to travel. Cooper DeJean is going to play multiple positions. He's not going to go across the field. We're getting there, CJ. We're getting there. We're getting here. What player do they need back there? What player is under contract? What player is looking for a new deal? Who's the guy? Come on, guys, say it. Reed Blankenship. That helps Reed Blankenship's position and importance in that secondary, because you've heard people say he's the best communicator back there in the secondary when it comes to all the players. He's essential in making sure that everyone is lined up and in their place. That helps Reed Blankenship and his importance. He's going to be setting the tone and telling people. He's in the middle of the field. He's the quarterback back there. That helps him. For me, that tells me there's no doubt they're putting more emphasis on Reed Blankenship being the guy back there in the secondary to keep everything and keep the continuity back there. That's a big responsibility. You're going to have 3 different things this year than what you didn't have last year. Okay? You're going to have more responsibility by Reed Blankenship because you're going to have guys playing multiple positions, and one guy's going to be traveling in your secondary because you know why? They're not sold on some of the players they have on the team yet. And the first 2 days hasn't been a stellar 2 days and a start for Keely Ringo. That may line up Cooper more outside at the corner. See, Kim, Vaughn is going to be more responsible for the underneath of the zone and the guys in the front and the linebackers and setting of the edge. Reed is going to be the communicator in the secondary. You got 2 big voices back there. You've got Reed and you've got Vaughn. This is a different look. No. Great take. No. You play zone. You're playing center field. You don't travel much. No, you don't. This is a new concept. He doesn't feel he has 2 corners. Well, yet. He said it today. I don't know who's going to win these jobs. And I don't think Vic gives you like frosting on a cake, just to tell you something. Absolutely. Makes him more valuable, and in Philly, makes him more pricey. So you're going to have Quinyon Mitchell travel. So here, just to put this into perspective here, Quinyon Mitchell's responsibility has changed. Big time. He's going 50 yards. He may be going and he's going to be shadowing guys. That's how much talent he has, and that's how much faith they have in him, or Vic has in him. He was asked a question about not having Slay. He went, so what? What's that got to do with the kid? He's 50 yards on the other side of the field. The way I took that was Q could do more than Slay, especially at the age, because he's younger. And then when I heard him say this, he's not moving. He's not traveling Cooper. Cooper will line up in base, nickel, or corner. He's not moving to it. He's going to line up in it. You heard what he said. I want him in base. Okay, I want him in base. So, I mean, it's a big deal. Guys didn't have those responsibilities last year. You didn't, role players. And the importance of Reed Blankenship's responsibility, 3 people have gained way more responsibility. Reed Blankenship, Quinyon Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean. Those are the 3 studs that they have back there that they're really looking at being centerpieces. I'm going to tell you, I think Reed was replaceable. I'm not so sure now. I'm just not so sure now. This is a masterclass from Sills right now. Makes sense. Thank you. Leon, look at what they're doing here, man. I mean, he's not changing anything in base. Okay? He's not changing anything in base. He's just changing responsibilities and giving more because of the equity the guys have built from a year ago with their play. He's thought Quinyon Mitchell was absolutely spectacular a year ago. He's got a, what did he say today? Great work ethic. The guy is a fabulous talent. You're going to get a lot. And now he sees the way Jahad Campbell moves around. And you're going to see, and by the way, it was very interesting on how he said that because a reporter, which was smart, I can't remember who, it may have been John. Someone said he lined up on the perimeter. Remember something, guys. Vic don't want to give everything away he's doing out there right now and tell you exactly where his mindset is when it comes to respected players. That's, sitting in front of the media and telling you everybody what they're doing. He's not. So you got to kind of watch and listen when the questions are being asked. Okay? And remember something, folks. All we're doing is commenting, and we're commenting on what the coach is saying. That's what we're doing. Sills, do you think Howie makes a move for Asante Samuel? His Asante Samuel's Cooper DeJean. He would rather have Cooper play the corner than pay $20 million for Asante Samuel, wouldn't you? And put him out there at corner? Why would I hack up my game plan and what I'm setting up for 26 and 27 for Asante Samuel? I'd rather put and try Cooper out there than sign Asante Samuel. And Asante Samuel, is he a zone cover? I mean, is Asante Samuel, is he a zone defensive guy? This is like going to football school. Like we or broad dropping this kind of knowledge. Okay? May go to for slacking at work. The real zeal. Okay? This is very simple. When you hear a coordinator talking the way he did today, I took so much out of that. Zeal. It was, he was telling you, he goes, we're going to travel one guy. We're going to play another player in multiple positions. Jahad Campbell now may give us a little bit of a respite because of Dean's injury. And, hey, how about this? Let's put this here. Xander said this yesterday. And we brought this up to you guys. If you're drafting Jahad Campbell to play off ball, and you're going to kind of try messing around a little bit with him at the edge rushers, you're not comfortable with your edge room. I mean, I'm going to play Campbell over Ojulari and Uche. Aren't you? I drafted the guy 30th. I don't give a fuck about those guys. I care about the draft pick I had. You hear Howie the other day? If we draft a guy in the first round, that's like paying a guy big money. That's how he looks at it. He said that. When we spend that kind of draft equity, it's like paying a guy big money. That's how he looks at it, as like a big-time free agent signing. Those were his words. He says, I mean, we look at it just the same way we would sign a big-time free agent. If you draft in the first 2 rounds, first 3 rounds, that's a big move for us. It's a great way to look at it. Okay? Now, remember something. Crowley, Ramsey's a man corner. He's a man corner. He's not a zone fucking corner. Know your role, dude. Ramsey's a zone corner. Since when? That's why they fucking hated Vic. Him and Xavier Howard, they wanted him to play in that zone, and he said, absolutely no way. I mean, Jalen Ramsey, he's a man guy. Zone. Know your defenses before you talk shit. All right. So that's what I took away from Vic. That was a really great presser. That guy gives so much good stuff. You know the mentality of where he's going now. He said, pump the brakes on Jalen Hunt and Makuba, which is correct. By the way, he's not down on Moro Jomo. He said we really like the reps he got a year ago, and he's going to have more volume of reps this year. Totally. That's a great comment by him. But he also said that the majority of those reps are going to be by committee. Hello, committee. Did you hear it? By committee. Okay. All right. So let's get into the players now. It was a great press conference by Vic Fangio. Let me get to the beginning here. I really liked what Vic said. So let me get to Landon Dickerson. Once again, instead of calling this the National Football Show or the Big Sill Show, we should be calling this the Echo Chamber Show. I told you your football team will never be the same from 2024. Stop acting like you have the same football team from last year. Even Landon Dickerson said that year is gone. We no longer have that football team. This is a brand new year. Stop making comments about last year. That team is lost forever. Exactly true. The mentality you have to have when you go into a new season. You people think you have the same team. You do not. Nobody in Philadelphia on that football team believes what you believe, some of you. Nobody. And I surely don't. Hey, it's a different, not even Merrill Reese yesterday is in that room with you. Nobody believes they have the same team. Well, we have the core, it doesn't, you do not have the same fucking football team as the team that just won the Super Bowl. It's time, as Brian's saying, to turn the page. End of story. There's no other way. I've been trying to tell you that the entire offseason. You're not listening because you don't want to listen. That's fine. Landon Dickerson, 2024 no longer exists. That team is gone. He said it. All of them have said it, except you. Okay? He said Steen's doing a great job. Okay? I want to see Steen on the field. I'm not sold on that guy. They told us Steen was doing a good job last year, and he got beat out. Tell you what I did like to hear, the name Trevor Keegan. The day that guy was drafted in the 5th round, I told you he was one of my favorite players in the draft. 30-plus starts at Michigan. He was in a year where all those great offensive linemen went. If he was drafted in this last round, he probably would have went in the 2nd or 3rd round. He'd have been a higher draft pick. The year he came out was one of the greatest offensive line years in draft history. Okay? One of the greatest. Dickerson said Moro Jomo's getting better. Can't wait to get the pads on to see where he is in his level of success. Said that Jordan Davis came in shape. Again, congratulations for doing your job. He was asked a question about his love of the game. He loves to compete. The accolades are great, but I love to compete. I love the game of football. This is a guy that goes out there because he really has a passion for the sport. You totally have to have a passion for the sport. Personally, I think Tyler Steen's a role player. I do not believe he's a starter. I thought he had I'll tell you this, I got to give Barrett Brooks a lot of credit because when they drafted the guy, Barrett Brooks said that he didn't believe that he was a tough football player. I'm not talking about being a tough mentally player, but he's a finesse player. So I'm gonna give Barrett a lot of love on that one because Barrett said that. He goes, I think he's a good player, but I don't really think that guy's a starter. And he was right on. And I think he's a role player as well. I don't really think he's got the greatest feet. Love listening to Landon Dickerson. Okay. Dallas Goedert really didn't say much. What I did like is that Jaylen Hurts was communicating with him and talking with him throughout the process of them undermining him and asking him to take a pay cut. Hurts was talking to him. It's a great leader move. Hey, look, we need you. I get the thing's not going right. But I'll tell you what, I want you back. You think the grass is going to be greener on the other side? Is $4 million more, or $3 million, or $2 million more really going to make you feel better if you go to Arizona? He probably said no. Is Landon Dickerson the best offensive lineman Saban's coached in college? Yes. Yes. So I thought that was pretty good. I liked it. Now here, I'm not going to get to that topic yet. I'll wait. Let's get to Jordan Davis. I like Jordan Davis as a person. Jordan Davis at the microphone today, I thought was great. I think he said a lot of great things. Okay? I do. I think he said a lot of great things. He says he's got a bigger role on defense, is what they told him. I believe it. He was asked about not being a fat body and coming in shape. He said, I got more energy, more focus. He says, I'm able to last longer. Again, I guess sometimes, guys, it takes you a long time to realize what you need to do and the right things you need to do to make you great. Maybe this is the Brandon Graham role. Maybe Brandon didn't figure that out. It doesn't have to be a conditioning thing. It could be a mental thing. It could be a non-focus thing. I took a lot of what AJ, it's all about team first. It was one of the greatest comments I've heard him say, or any Philadelphia Eagles say. I've got to learn to be a guy who focuses on team first and to make myself a better player and a better teammate. That's one of the greatest lines of all time. Those are the kind of guys you want in the huddle. So let me continue on with Jordan Davis here. He wants to be involved in pass rush reps. Okay. One of the reasons he came in shape. I don't want to be a one-trick pony, he said. Okay? He set goals for himself. He's lost 26 pounds. Okay? It's not 292. He's like 330. He looks it. He looked like a different human being there. So now look, this is all words because none of this has ever been applied. Don't you understand? These are words. Nothing's been applied here. And he's entering his 4th year. It's never been applied. I like it, though, because you know why? The commitment of the conditioning makes this seem a little bit more realistic for me. This seems more realistic. If he came in 340 pounds and he was talking this shit, I would think, again, he would be the same old Jordan Davis. But Jordan Davis came in 330 pounds and he's talking, I don't want to come off the field. Okay? The only reason I'm buying a little of this is because of the commitment on coming in shape. He wants to be involved in pass rushing. Okay? He doesn't want to be a one-trick pony when it comes to just, as he put in parentheses, a run stopper. Not a problem. And again, the only reason I'm buying it is because he came in shape. Guys, hit the like button, please. He said, I put a lot of work in at the end and I saw what I could possibly and potentially do. We're going into year 4, still talking potential with Jordan Davis. That I got a problem with still. I don't talk potential with Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter's potential, in my opinion, will be displayed on the football field when he tees it up and plays 60 minutes every Sunday. His experience is going to come. He's going to get better with reps. I want to be a 3-down player. Okay? You know why he wants to be a 3-down player, don't you? He wants a $25 million a year contract. Nothing wrong with that. Whatever motivates you, son. It took the extension to get him in shape. That's a little bit of my problem. Not the commitment of being great to get him in shape. He would have did this a year ago. It's the commitment that's potentially there with the money. That's what got him in shape. I actually loved the interview or the press conference. I did. I actually loved it. I think the kid coming into conditioning, telling you what his goals are. I want to be a 3-down guy. I don't want to be a run stopper. And I want to have a bigger role on the team. I'll tell you what could be motivating him too. Jalen Carter's getting all the roses. I don't know about you. If you've ever had anybody in your business that works next to you and you see your boss praising him, how great he is, and you hear the media talking about how great Jalen Carter is, that would fucking piss me off. Not in a good way. In a good way, not negative. Why can't I have that? You can. Jordan, you're probably a better athlete than Carter. Jordan Davis is probably a better athlete. Nobody that big runs. Dude, I'm going to tell you one of the greatest plays I ever saw in the last 4 years, going on 5 years covering your team. I watched that Brahma bull run down a fucking antelope in fucking Josh Allen, and he ran down that line of scrimmage like I'd never seen a big man run before. That's one of the greatest and most athletic plays and getting Allen on the ground, he's 6'6". That guy's 6'6". And he put that dude on the ground. I mean, like he was throwing a dude out at a bar in South Philly. Caught him, threw him out of the building, everything. It's fucking great. He could be possibly, imagine if you ever had that guy live up to his actual skill set. You'd have 2 Jalen Carters. So, yeah. Still, Larry Allen chasing down the interception. I believe it was in the Saints game. Truly one of the greatest, if not the greatest play I've ever seen in my life. And that guy went how many? He probably went 80 yards to catch that guy. I watched it that Monday night. I think it was a Monday night game. I remember going, I've never seen anything like that. Larry Allen running 80 yards and catching a guy on an INT down the field was sick. So I really did. I had a positive takeaway from Jordan Davis talking to the media. By the way, his personality is fantastic. He looks like a great kid, man. He looks like a coachable guy, too. Here's Prince. Prince, I don't know. You know, it's funny. And I think Prince caught this, too, at the presser. Why are the Eagles lying about his weight, though? They have his weight listed at 330, but he lost 26 pounds. How's that possible? Prince, you see what he said? If you saw the press conference, remember what he said? He looked over at Bob Lang and said, should I tell him really the real weight? Remember he said that? And I caught that. I thought that was odd too. I was like, what are they doing, man? What is that? I mean, right? Prince, is that what you're talking about? Because I saw Jordan look over too at Bob, and I went, he goes, should I tell him the real weight? Do you want me to tell him? And I was like, what the fuck is that? I saw that too. So if he's telling me he's 330 and he lost 26 pounds, he was 356. That's, I mean, right. I don't know what that is. The Eagles PR people don't ever believe anything out of Bob Lang's face. He is the king of propaganda, and he has no truth in anything he tells you. There's no truth. Okay? Everything is scripted. I mean, seriously, that guy could never ad-lib anything in his life. He's one of the worst PR directors on the planet. I know him from San Francisco. Nothing's changed. He's the same bullshit artist on the planet. Okay? Same guy. So, look at this. He might have been 370. I don't know why you can't just be transparent on that and tell people what the kid's weight was. Okay? I don't know. Bob Lang hates me, not the channel. He hates me because I tell the truth. Remember, Bob don't want you to know the truth. Listen to WIP. Let's get to Quinyon Mitchell, which wasn't very... I'll tell you what would be a word that you would describe Quinyon Mitchell in his personality? What word would you use? Boring? Reserve? Awkward? What else? Hates the media? I mean, because they were trying to get stuff out of him. He didn't want to give them anything, which is, at the end of the day, it's a good thing. Low key? Okay. His personality, dickhead. Try listening. That's that Steve guy who takes a knee for every single thing that they do over there. This guy has Eagle knee pads. What do you think? This guy walks with eagle knee pads. One says Bob, the other says Lang. And the other in the middle with his cup says truth. Yeah, that guy Steve wears Bob, Lang, and a cup that's got eagles on it. Okay, Steve? That's who you are, kid. I guarantee you that Steve guy's got a cup with the eagle bird on it. You know, and by the way, the wings probably come out of the cup like the ring. Hey, I thought that was one of the greatest hits that Merrill Reese gave us yesterday, by the way. Showing us the ring and then showing us a very personal message to him from Jaylen Hurts. You get that nowhere else, folks. And he showed it to you, and even Cindy, his wife, goes, I don't know. Should you show that? Man, Jaylen gave that to you, right? Right? Left field. Be prepared at all times, Abe. You never know when the right hand hits you. Ask George Foreman. Big Sills is like the George Foreman of sports talk. You never know when you get smashed in the grill with it. Yeah, Steve's got a new trademark. It's called We Are Knees. Hey, if Q's role is to cover the best receiver on the field, I'm fine with that. If Vic is truly unsure about Ringo and the guy from New York, then I want Q on the best man. I think that's what they're doing. I think that's exactly what they're doing. Q's going to try. Did you see what Q? Here. This confirms what Vic Fangio is going to do. He was asked a question about playing over on the other side. What a great answer by Quinyon Mitchell. What's it like to play on the other side? The one guy goes, well, you know, you're going to be playing against a better wide receiver. Do you find it a little more difficult over there? He goes, I don't think there's any difference at all. Okay, great. I believe him. I totally believe the kid. He goes, yeah, there's nothing different over there. Do you understand that there's a whole different foot and technique? And that guy's so good. He's so fucking good that whether he moves his left foot or right foot, you understand, look, when you're playing left corner, okay, your right foot's back, your left foot's up because you're always protecting the inside. And you want to make sure that what happens? You never get beat on the perimeter with the numbers in the end and the sideline. So you're protecting by pushing back against the sidelines and using the sidelines to widen the field. You want a guy to get an inside release. You don't want him to get an outside release over your outside shoulder. So you got right foot back, left foot up. Well, that's completely opposite on the other side. You got right foot up, left foot back. Not everybody is as ambidextrous as that to be able to do that. You'd be shocked. Playing left guard and right guard are completely different because they're different footsteps. Q's like, shit, man, no big deal to me. It's great to hear somebody go, yeah, I didn't find it anything, or, you know, I was like, okay. I think there's a small competition going on between Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. It's a good one. I think there's a good competition going on because I think everyone is glazing over Cooper. They should. Q's like this. If you think that guy's better than me, he was asked a question about Cooper. Yeah, he's doing a good job. I was like, oh, good job. Okay. There's nothing wrong with having two dudes competing and wanting to be the best. If I was Mulata in Lane, I'd want to be better than Lane. There's no harm in that. That spirited competition from within that you want to be better than the guy who's a Hall of Famer. I played next to Jerome. I wanted to outplay Jerome every game. I did. Never thought that Jerome was not better than me, but I wanted to outplay him. Nothing wrong with that. It creates a competitive fire in your organization. It's a good thing. Because you also see the kids behind. These two guys are competing to be the best left tackle and right tackle period in the NFL. I got that sense from Jordan Davis talking today about, hey, you guys are glazing over Jalen Carter. I want to be that too. Okay? Look at this. This is one of my favorite things that people say. Sills, I work at a gas station and listen to you every day. Where's that gas station, my friend? Tell me where that gas station is. I love that. Look at this right here, Joe Krause. This guy's at a gas station. Heart and soul of America. Okay? Blue collar. That's what we are. Got a blue collar show, bro. Tell me where you are, man. No, city, man. Circle K. No. Hey, city, where are you in the world, man? That's funny. Oh, man. Yeah, man. That's great, dude. I'm at Circle K. No. Where are you in the world? Okay. Glendale, Arizona. Oh, all right. My daughter went to school in Phoenix. That's where my daughter went to GCU, man. Kudos, man. Thank you. From Philly to Arizona, we got people listening to us at gas stations, and I'm sure, hey, my friend, I'm sure we got people listening to us sitting on a shitter somewhere in their home somewhere, because everyone would probably want to sit on the throne and listen to my boy Prince over here. Yeah. Oh my God. Great stuff, man. Worldwide, man. Okay. That's right. Norway too. Leon started a riot in Norway. Hold on, Leon. Let me get an email I got from somebody last night. So Leon started a war last night, and the biggest debate, almost on the front page of the Viking. Okay. Let me see here. I gotta get the city. What is it here? Oslo. There you go. Oslo and Bergen. There was a big war going on that Leon started about what's his name? Keely Ringo getting torched. Front page of the Viking. That's like the Norway newspaper, the Viking. Leon from Philly. Keely Ringo sucks. Trade him. Get him out of here. Let's trade him away for some polar bear meat. How you doing? Leon started some shit yesterday. He started a whole bunch of shit yesterday, man. Not good. Come on, Leon. Leon started trouble yesterday, man. Had it going on, man. People in Norway were very upset with Leon. Leave my Keely Ringo alone, even though Dory Jackson's beating him out now. In Norway, yeah, they need to worry about Trump. He might go up there and try to buy it. Oh, man. She said I could get it. Oh, I don't want to go there. Viking's a verb. Wow. Viking's a verb. It's something you do. How come every time you talk, Steve, I have to hold my nuts to make sure that I'm not listening to some... I mean, you make me hold my nuts. I mean, really? Good night. Man, it's a verb. It's something you do. Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, my God. All right. I'm going to help the... Hey, guys, you want to help the Dallas Cowboys out here? Do you want to help the Dallas Cowboys out? I'm going to help the Cowboys out here. Look at everyone. No. Okay? I'm going to help the Cowboys out. Okay? Here's how I'm going to help you out. Why in the world do you not follow what Howie Roseman does by paying the players ahead of time so that you don't get caught where you are now, like you did with CeeDee Lamb and what you did with Dak Prescott, where you're paying max market money when Howie never pays for max market money? Why do you not follow along with that guy? How are you still doing the same things over? I guess when you're mental, it's something that I guess like, and you're mental and you really can't help yourself, that you just can't see the light. How he pays his guys before the market increases the value of the player. Why are you not following along? Those guys are as good as Jerry is as a businessman. He is brutal in player negotiations. I have never seen an owner get beat more than that guy. Howie never gets beat. He got a guy to take a pay cut who's one of the top 6 tight ends in the NFL. Howie got a guy to take a pay cut, and he's better than the tight end they have, that kid Ferguson in Dallas. How in the world do you not see this? Nope. They refuse to go down. The Eagles are trying to help them. This is how you do business. We got ahead of Hurts. We got ahead of Devontae and AJ. We got ahead a little bit on Barkley. We got ahead on Milana. We got ahead on Landon. We got ahead on Jurgens. You're probably the only guy you're going to have to pay market price for is, guess who? Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter will be the only guy that you have to pay top dollar for. This makes no sense. And it creates more holes on your team because you have to use money that you could have had at other positions. I just don't get the Cowboys, man. Like, get this. Since, what was it? The last Super Bowl, 96? Since 96 or 95, they have not been a well-run organization. I don't care. Who's been the worst general manager in 30 years? Jerry. And I don't believe it's close. Jerry Jones' Uncle Jr. Uncle Jr. was funny, though. Then again, Jerry coming out going, if I'm going to trade Michael Parsons, I'd rather take a paternity test. Now, I do dig that. Hey, him taking shots at Dak and Micah, too. It was like your grandfather taking a shot at you at your dinner table. These guys are always hurt. Shit, I gave that guy $90 million last year. 2/3 of the season in, the guy got hurt. Where was he? Nowhere. The other guy, I'll sign him, but where will he be? Oh, it sounds like he hates that he's going to have to do what he's going to have to do by signing these guys. Man. You know, this guy's the ultimate jackass, James Dolan. He gets upset if somebody has a sign at MSG. Then he fires Thibodeau. And I don't even know. Who did he hire? I don't even know. Did the Knicks hire anybody? Daryl Morey. The Sixers have it. Hey, the Sixers got it going on too in Philly. They do. Hey, if you're a property on WIP, wait a minute. I don't think, are they on WIP? I think the Sixers are on the other thing. Let me see. Wait a minute. If the Sixers are on 97.5, That has to be the station that Missinelli's on. So that has to be the one that's getting murdered in ratings. So yes, that's the one. Jerry's the best GM if you're asking any Eagle fan. That's right. If Missinelli's on a station, you could guarantee it's low in ratings. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't know why that slipped out like that. All right. Oh, wait. I got one more Cowboy thing. So you hear, what did CeeDee Lamb say? Let me go here. Here, let me find you I want to give you the exact quote on why CeeDee Lamb's a loser too. Hold on here. Let me go here. This is another reason that CeeDee's a loser. Let me find this quote. Hey, this is classic. I heard A.J. Brown talking about being a better teammate the other day and putting team first. I want you to hear this. I'm going to read you the quote here. By the way, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Where is this thing? It's so Dallas Cowboys, and it is so the type of players that they have on that football team. Here, I've got to find. It's coming. It's coming. Somebody sent me this this line by CeeDee Lamb. So the guys are. I don't know. I don't think the Cowboys are going to have a very good year. I just don't see it. I think they're a 7-win football team. And CeeDee Lamb, I'm going to paraphrase it here because I'm looking for it and I can't find it. Damn, it was so Cowboys. And he was talking about this year and him playing this season. And his attitude was this: I'm going to remind everybody on why I am a dominant football player. I'm going to get the numbers up. I'm going to make sure everybody understands why I'm a dominant football player. And I turn around and my comments to you would be, how are you a dominant player when you're not on a dominant team? A.J. Brown is a dominant player on a dominant team. There is a complete difference. Okay? There's a complete difference when you're talking about being a dominant player on a dominant team. So what does it take to turn around a failing team besides a quarterback? Buffalo for years, when I was a kid, sucked. Now they're a contender. It's the quarterback. It's totally the quarterback. Here it is here. I found it. CeeDee Lamb, I'm a dominant receiver and will remind everyone, and I will remind all of you of that this year. My take would be this. How are you a dominant player, bro? What have you done to help your team win games? A.J. Brown is a dominant football player. He affects the run game. He affects the passing game. He affects the quarterback's play. CeeDee does none of that. He does none of that. Get this. A.J. Brown was part of a 2,000-yard rushing team. Well, here, Myles Garrett was on the number 1 ranked defense. That's all he has control over. CeeDee Lamb has been on a team that has ranked 19th in his 3 years playing in New England, or excuse me, in Dallas. You tell me the difference, Trev. Jim Schwartz had the number 1 ranked defense 2 years ago with Myles Garrett on it. Since Michael Parsons has been in Dallas, they've averaged a ranking of 19th total. What impact has he made? Myles Garrett's an impact player. That's an impact player on a shitty organization. He impacts his defense. He can't play offense for him. I'm not saying I got you, Trev, but that's the difference. Michael Parsons doesn't impact his team. Myles Garrett does. Myles Garrett had the number 1 ranked defense. Well, that's all he can do. What's CeeDee do? How does he impact his team? Salary? I'll remind people I'm a dominant player. You're not a dominant player because you have no impact on your wins. How are you a dominant player? The Eagles are littered with dominant players. Guard, 2 tackles, center, the tackle, DT, the linebacker, the corner. I mean, fuck, they go down the line. Where are you dominant? You have the most and the highest paid players in the league, and you're not dominant at one of those spots. I mean, look at this. Here is CeeDee Lamb's quote. CeeDee Lamb, I'm a dominant receiver and will remind you of that this year. You've never reminded me of it any year you've ever played. Why? Because you had the most yards in garbage time when you're playing from behind? That's not dominant football. Funny, when I think of the number 1 receiver in the sport, you ain't it. Jefferson, AJ, Jamar, those 3 guys, you start there, flip a coin. I'll take AJ. I don't get, I'll remind you I'm a dominant player. With what, 7 wins? Get this. He's telling you, I'd rather have the stats than have the stats and the wins. AJ has both. Some people in the chat suspect they come across as nice supporters, but will throw a personal attack at you for not agreeing with them. It's all good. That's what Philly is. And that's what New England is. And I get it. And I understand it. And I accept it. And I am it. Hey, I may like you too there. Darren, I may throw a shitty comment at you too, but that don't mean I hate you. All right? That don't mean I hate you. It's all good. Hey, like everyone in here knows. Can't take the heat. Get the hell out of the kitchen. Joy Taylor, don't forget, is going to join us at 4:30. We're hopefully going to be able to catch up with Xander a little bit, but he's got some business he's working with. So we'll continue and we'll go on here. Okay? Yes, that's probably the truth. All right. So I like this new role for Q. I do. I like the new role for Cooper DeJean. Look what he's doing over there on that defensive side of the football. He's created a new role for Q. He's created a new role for Reed Blankenship. He's created a new role for Cooper. He's creating a new role for Zach Bond. Completely different than the 2024 defensive football team. Completely different. This is great. The same defensive approach will not be applied this year that you saw last year. That's what makes Vic Fangio difficult to defend against. If you're an offensive coordinator, you're not sure what he's going to do yet. What roles people are going to have. What assignments they're going to have. You're not sure about it. Okay? I mean, it's brilliant. The defensive scheme will evolve. That's exactly what he said, because the players' roles have evolved. Vic is not, he's not cemented in one scheme. Thank you, bro. That's what I hope you do. Okay? Sills, ask Joy if she's. I am not asking her that. This guy wants. Look at Leon. Leon thinks because he started a war in Norway, and he now has autonomy because he started a war in Oslo, that he now thinks that I'm going to be like matchmaker. Like, hey, Joy, listen, I got a guy in here. His name is Leon. Leon is now, he wants to know if you're single and shit. And, he started a big time war because Keely Ringo got his ass wiped the last 2 practices. And Leon wants a date. And like, I don't know. So she's going to go, does he have a job? And I'm going to go, I don't know if he's got a job. I'm going to assume he works from home. So I'm just going to assume that. Okay. And yeah. Well, you know me, Dan. I know you, man. I got you. This guy wants me to like be matchmaker. This guy started a war in Norway. Hey, you see Keely Ringo? Fuck that guy. Get him out of here. We need somebody new. And Eli Ricks, or that is his name, he ain't working either. Get the new guy in. Who, that Dory Jackson guy? Get him in here. I gotta tell you, CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, Bob. Hey, Dory Jackson had a better day today. I tell you what, man. Like I said, Tupac had a song, "All Eyes on You." Hey, all eyes on me, little mama. Hey, Leon, I could sing that thing now. Yes, sir. Okay. Hey, that's going to be the theme song for Keely Ringo in camp. All eyes on me, little mama. Yeah. Should we go down that route? Should we go down there with Keely Ringo? Keely Ringo, man. I told you that guy wouldn't win that job. Well, then again, wait a minute. It's only day 2. It is only day 2, man. Okay? I promise you, I'm going to give him every chance I get. Okay? I'm going to give him a shot. How long do you think they're going to give him? How long? All eyes on me. Motherfucker. Roll up to the club and shit. How you doing? Right? All eyes on me. I bet you get it twisted. Well, you don't think I know that song, man? I bet you get it twisted. You don't know who you trust. So many player hating. Can't do that, but hey. Come on, Leon. Leon wants me to sing All Eyes on Me. Can't do it, dog. All right. Got another one here for you. Let's move on. Hit the like button, guys. All supers go to the top. Hey. Hey, man. What do you think? Oh, wait. Okay, Sills' brother. Wait a minute. I'm Italian. What do you think? Hey, I'll tell you that, Forrest. I'm closer to you being my brother than some dude from Norway. I like Tupac, dog. It's all good. I'm a big Tupac fan. If I had to pick my rap groups before we move on, NWA, West Side Connection, I don't like Dre. I kind of like, let's see here. Oh, I got to put 2 Live Crew in there. West Side Connect, NWA, 2 Live Crew. Yeah, obviously you guys love that I love. Mobb Deep. Oh my God. That's a great band. That's a great band, man. Next rhyme, I might be rhyming about you. I like Mobb Deep. All right. Hit the like button, guys. I'm going to make a comment. Something I heard that Landon Dickerson said today. Okay? Let me go to Landon Dickerson. Listen to what he said here about Jaylen. And you tell me if you think this is true. Public Enemy Spectacular. Actually, Chuck follows me now on my Twitter. Chuck follows me on Twitter. Luther Campbell follows me on Twitter, and so does Ice Cube. Says, I'm calling it now. It's going to be Quinyon and Cooper, obviously, but I really believe McWilliams wins the slot permanently. He's a playmaker. He had a big day today. He did. He had a big day. He was one of my guys, my candidates to who won the day. Okay? He was one of the guys. He said something interesting, and I'm going to ask you guys this. Here. I'm going to make sure I get that right with Dickerson. Where's 3? Here it is. Here's Landon. Jaylen had more responsibilities last year. And, with Jason retiring, Jaylen had more responsibilities in the huddle a year ago. Can I say this? Do you think that Jason Kelce hurt the development of Jaylen Hurts as a quarterback? I think it did. I think Jason Kelce hurt his development as a quarterback. Not detrimentally to the point where it's costing you games. That's a great one here. Okay. This is maybe a better way of putting it. I'll take this. Where is it? Not intentionally. No, I'm not saying that. Hey, post that again when somebody said, we just had a great take. Somebody just said that. I couldn't get it up quick. Couldn't get it up quick. Thank you. Delayed it. Who said delayed? There it is. Preston. Not hurt, but delayed. This is another good one. Stalled it. Stunted. Okay. Okay. Right? All right. Stunted his and delayed it. His development. Okay? Right? So maybe Hurts will be better this year. Like when you have a starter in front of you. Okay. I think it was just the way the Eagles were already set up. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm asking you, do you think that the way they set it up, stunted or delayed, Jaylen Hurts he should be further along. By the way, he's winning. He's an MVP. I'm talking about more on how people maybe perceive him. Based off Hurts' career currently, would you agree that he's on a Hall of Fame career? Well, I would have said the same thing, Miguel, about, well, here, let me ask you this. You think Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer? Miguel, do you think that Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer? Yes or no? Not anymore. Okay? No, but early on, I would have said it. Okay? All right? He won more games in his first 5 years. He won a Super Bowl and had 2 NFC championships. Same as Hurts. Okay? What happened? He won more games than Jaylen. He went to back-to-back Super Bowls. He won a Super Bowl. And now you guys are saying he's not. Well, if that happened to Russell Wilson, how do you not know that doesn't happen to Jaylen Hurts? You guys just got through saying Russell Wilson was a Hall of Fame guy early in his career. There's a lot more to be played here. But to answer your question, do you think he's trying? Yes. 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 I'm going to pull a Bruce Hornsby song about Bingo not about Ringo not starting. That's just the way it is. There you go, Kyle. Wow. Man, you guys are already starting to throw the dirt on this guy. Russell Wilson's a Hall of Fame dude. I've talked to 3 Hall of Fame voters who said they're not voting for him. Says, I heard Joe Burrow is going to play more in the preseason. I heard that too, to help against slow starts. Do you think a run-first offense helps avoid slow starts because it's easier to find rhythm? That's such a tough one because the Eagles do it right. You guys are doing it so right for health. I'd rather be healthier and have slow starts. The problem with the Bengals is not slow starts. The problem is their defense sucks. Why would I play Joe Burrow? The only thing that gives me a shot at winning early in games that have no reference on winning whatsoever. It is so stupid. You see him stick up for Trey Hendrickson? He's telling the organization, hey, paying T. Higgins and paying Jamar Chase, the money that they got, that doesn't help you win football games when you're letting Trey Hendrickson walk out the building. Who, by the way, told those guys he would take a pay cut. Mike Brown, the owner of the team, still didn't want to hear it. Dude, you're so lucky with Jeffrey Lurie. Mike Brown's a horrible owner. He's just a horrible owner. Since he has slow starts because they don't pay their guy. Absolutely true. It's not about camp. That is just a superficial way of covering bad organizations. You know what the Eagles do? Get this. The Eagles do this. Hey, I'd rather start 2-2 and not play my guys and have all my players in the last 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years and start all 22 guys like I did. That's incredible. Like every player that they had, except for Brandon Graham this last year, and the Kobe, they were pretty healthy. Okay? I mean, why would Joe Burrow stay there? If I'm the Cowboys or anybody, I'll tell you this. I made this comment the other day with the Bucs. If I'm the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I do everything I can in my power to go get Joe Burrow. Florida, state income tax is gone. You get to make more money and save more money, and you got a better organization. You got Jason Light, and you got Todd Bowles. Go get Joe Burrow. Let them have Baker Mayfield, whatever. I mean, personally, I don't think Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer, meaning Russell's not. I know I'm in the minority. I'm strict with this criteria. Miguel, Eli is a tough conversation. He's 117 and 117 as a starting quarterback in pro football, okay? However, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings. He's got 2 Super Bowl MVPs. it is without a doubt very difficult to go, well, that guy doesn't belong in, when that guy's got more Super Bowl MVPs than his brother. And he's got a better record in the postseason than his brother. And he beat Brady in the Super Bowl when his brother couldn't beat him in AFC championship games. So you've got to – I get it. I understand. Especially the last 10 years of his career sucked. Okay? And it's – Joe's like this. Joe's going, Eli's a Hall of Famer. Here, I'm gonna show you something here. Okay? About Eli Manning. And I dude, that's a great conversation because Jason Cole says he didn't vote for him last year. And who else didn't vote for him? Howard Balzer didn't vote for him. So here it is here. Eli Manning. Okay, you tell me this. So here's Eli Manning's last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. His last 7 years in the NFL. He had one winning record. In 2016, he was 10-5. The rest of them were 7-9, 7-9, 6-10, 6-10, 3-12, 5-11, and 1-5. And it really, if you want to go to his last 10 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9-7, 9-7, 7-9, 6-10, 6-10, 11-5, 3-12, 5-11, 1-3. In the last 10 years of his career, he had 3 winning seasons. That's Hall of Fame? Now, he's got 57,000 passing yards. He's got 57,000 passing yards. And he's got 366 touchdowns. I mean, he's not a bum. And the 2 MVPs get him in. I'm with Joe on that. The 2 MVPs. If he did not have those wins, there's not a chance in hell I'm putting that. That guy's Vinny Testaverde. He's Vinny Testaverde. He's Kirk Cousins. But he's got 2 wins. I have to cut grass. I'm waiting for – really? Okay. Yeah, Eli's numbers are not very good. Now, again, this goes back to the argument that the Giants let him down in the end. They didn't put good players around the player. Okay? They just didn't. They didn't put good players around the guy. Once they lost Tom Coughlin and Jerry Reese, okay, once they lost those 2 guys, the organization fell apart with Dave Gettleman and the stupidity of hires and coaching. The Giants are no longer the same organization that they were under those guys. You had George Young. Okay, you had George Young as a general manager. And by the way, when Wellington was alive, it was a different franchise. Now they're starting Russell Wilson. I mean, really? So you've gone from Daniel Jones to the pizza guy to Russell Wilson to Jackson Dart. I'm not thinking you're in a good place right now if you're in New York. And you let Barkley go down 95 to the Eagles. I mean, where are you going? Says I'm lifting weights. Let me know. Hey, you guys. Dart's legit. I think so. Now, the more you watch him, thanks for the super, brother. The more I watch him, the more I like what I'm hearing about him. And plus, they love him. They do. They love him in New York. So, me personally, I would have started him in New York. I would have. But let me get back here to this. On Jason Kelce. Kelce and the system that they have Hurts in. What would be the number one thing that Kevin Patullo is going to do this year that you heard even Jaylen. And by the way, it makes more sense now because Landon even said it too, and Hurts said it the other day. Landon goes, boy, Jaylen's being asked to do more. He's got more responsibility now since Kelsey left. The other day, Jaylen went like this. Are you being asked by the new coordinator, Kevin Patullo, and by everyone else about your input when it comes to putting the game plan together and the approach of the game? He said yes. I find it almost insane. 5 years in, 6 years in as a pro. Is this Jaylen Hurts' 6th year? That Jaylen Hurts has now been given autonomy, which means this. So when you guys say, Sills, do you think that Jaylen Hurts has a chance to get better? Yeah, he has a chance to get better because he's now being asked to do more. Before, he was limited. He played in a sandbox. Hold on for a second. Let's see here. 15 minutes. We'll do that. Let's see here. Let's see, 15 UT. We'll go 15. We'll go 15 with Joy. I never saw Eli as a dominant player. You just talked about being dominant on a dominant team. He barely. Well, now, wait a minute, Miguel. He beat a dominant team. Okay? He beat a dominant football team. And he beat a dominant player. So year 6 and 5 as a starter. I find it incredible that Jaylen Hurts has been given now more autonomy in his own offense. But see, here's the deal. He's not going to be given as much autonomy as you think. Why? As long as Saquon Barkley is on that team, he will have to play in a particular role. There's nothing wrong with that. He's not going to be asked to do the other things that other quarterbacks have to do. Okay? He's not. Best team ever, right? He beat that undefeated Patriots team. You make every big play that helps you win. Okay? Seals, we always talked about how Jaylen was studying Phillip Rivers. I posted a great picture with me and Phillip. Phillip Rivers is a student of the game. And Nick Sirianni learned everything he knew about quarterbacking, in my opinion, from Phillip Rivers when he was in San Diego. I didn't realize when I was covering the Chargers that Nick was the wide receiver coach in San Diego, then became the quarterback coach. Every year that they were in San Diego, Nick was here, or he was working in the organization. I didn't know that at the time. Mike McCoy was the head football coach. Okay? He was the head football coach. I didn't realize that Nick was the wide receiver coach. Says, you want to hear a weird coincidence? Ernie account the guy who drafted Eli. Ernie Accorsi. The guy who drafted Eli is the same guy who drafted Elway. Completely true. Ernie Accorsi was the general manager of the New York Giants. And he was also a general manager when he was in Cleveland back in the day. Ernie Accorsi is a really great football-minded guy. Guys, hit the like button. Joy's going to join us at the bottom of the hour here. She just said cool, so we're ready to roll. We'll have her at the bottom. By the way, guys, make her feel wanted, okay? Because at the end of the day, this is her first public appearance since that whole fiasco. We're not going to start the show off with that with her. We're going to get her football takes on Jaylen. I think she's a huge Jaylen Hurts fan. Okay? Seals, he was changing plays all year long at the line last year. I think he's going to be even better reading and pre-snap like he did in the Super Bowl. I'm excited for him. Yeah, I think he got better by the end of the year too. Kelsey hurt him. You know, we could have made a point that they kept Kelce too long. All right? You know? And allowed Kelce to go out maybe a year too late. Seals, Vic was the DC in Philly. He was for the Stars. Okay? He was. He was. Okay? Yes. He what's this? If you don't play, you sit your ass down. Martin. Boy, if you didn't get that today from Vic Fangio at that press conference, I just totally love that guy, man. I mean, he is just absolutely a great. He told you today that I don't know who's going to win those jobs. He goes, we have a bunch of job openings. We got a bunch of people that are going to be able to get an opportunity to compete. We've got job openings. Seals, would you say that another quarterback would have been able to run this offense like Brady did for the Patriots? The same situation goes for Jaylen. Wouldn't you say? I would. I don't believe Joe Burrow could go into Philadelphia and win a Super Bowl the way they did a year ago. No, I do not. Is Joe Burrow going to be able to run the ball? You would have to have a completely different approach and it would be a completely different recipe on how you would have to do it. Are you sure that would work? Let me ask you something. Are you sure that the old line's a great pass blocking team? They gave up a ton of sacks last year. Are you sure of that? I mean, are you dead sure of that if you had to drop back 45 times, that old line's going to hold up? I don't know. I'd rather run the football. I'd rather run it down your throat. You're not going to throw the ball 45 times. You'll never find that out. You will never find that out. Here's our guy, Texas boy, James Jones. Why are you talking about Dak? Your team couldn't even beat Cooper Rush at home. Well, the Commanders went all the way to the NFC title game. You know where you went? To Galveston for the offseason. To sit around that shitty water like Barkley says. That's where the Cowboys went. They went to Galveston. They were hanging out with their beach towels down at Galveston in the offseason. Down there with that shitty water. Where'd you go in the offseason? Well, the Eagles went to New Orleans. The Cowboys went to Galveston. Hey, Joe, can you give me that super chat? Man, I missed it here. Guys, do me a favor. Keep throwing them supers in. Joy will be with us at the bottom of the hour. I missed that super chat. Guys are awesome, man. I appreciate you guys very much sending those supers to us. Again, here. We'll get that one up here. Let me see here. It's from Bearded Willie. So here we go. How underrated is having young guys on defense that are willing to be molded as opposed to veterans stuck in their ways like Miami? Here's the one thing you add to that. Homegrown dudes versus mercenaries. Let me ask you this. That 2018 Philadelphia Eagle team, the year after you won the Super Bowl, how'd that team look? What were you, 9-7? Sometimes you get the eggs. Sometimes you get the shells. When you're built for and with younger guys that you draft, your window of opportunity is wider. Okay? Imagine paying 3 players top dollars at your position and winning only 7 games this year. Imagine that. Dude, Cowboy guy. I don't know what could you possibly be talking about? Hope? Maybes? You know the shittiest words in sports are hope, maybe, if, when. It's like, optimism is eternal. Maybe when, this is the year. For what? Is there going to be some giant epiphany in Dallas? You guys lost to Coop. Bro, they went to the NFC title game with a rookie. You haven't been out of the divisional round with a quarterback that you're paying top dollar in a decade. Dak hasn't been out of the divisional round. The quarterback in Washington, if I'm not mistaken, is 1-2. He's 2-1. He's won more games in 1 year than Dak has won in the postseason in 10. Is that right? Has Jaden Daniels won as many playoff games as Dak in 1 year? Dak Prescott. Hey, and I like the guy. Yeah, really, man. I don't want to make Texas guy cry here, man. I mean, I appreciate him coming in here too. I mean, to try to give a half-ass fighter's chance. I give it to him, man. It's like a half-ass fighter's chance. Guy like, you have your hand over on his head, right? And you're just beating the shit out of the guy, and he's just flailing away. That's what Texas guy is. He's just flailing away. He ain't hitting shit. He's just flailing away. That's like the story of the Cowboys. Imagine being Sills looking for comments, not about him. What a clown. No. All these comments are about and for me. This is called the Big Sill Show. And you're welcome and you're welcome to be part of it. If you post anything, this is my time, guy. You're invited because I invite you. That's like the guys over on my Twitter. Sileo, you suck, you're bad, you're awful, you're racist, you're this, you're that. Do I know you? No. Why do you hate me? I don't know. Oh, because other people told you? Yeah. Oh, okay. This is called the Big Sill Show. Owned by Jay Krause and Z. Okay? I love the guy who posts shit on my Twitter. You suck. Hey, thanks for getting up this morning and having an epiphany about that somewhere on the planet, and you write that on my Twitter. I always laugh at that. I never erase them either, because I hope one day people will come to the understanding that that's just a tool move. And by the way, Texas guy, don't go away. I mean, I kind of like you in here because you do put up, you put up a valiant effort. I mean, you're trying. There's just been nothing really for the Cow. I mean, if you're the Cowboys right now, just curious, like, what are you possibly talking about? Mozzie Smith? What else? Going 500? Jerry looking like Skeletor? Or, the dude on Poltergeist. And he knocks on the door for that little girl. Hey, is she here? Guy's all fucked up with the hair and all. He looks like the guy from Poltergeist. What's that guy's name? He's like a preacher. The guy walked out of the grave. I can't think of that guy's name. He's looking for the little girl on Poltergeist. Is it Poltergeist? I think so. The guy looks for Poltergeist. Looks like Poltergeist. What's this one? Boy, I'm sure this is going to rock me. Sill Show, you do know every comment isn't about you. You got people shitting on each other in here. Well, it's called the tough room. What do you want it to be? A liberal room? This is where people can get to say whatever they want. We don't block people in here unless you're stalking me like LJ. Seriously, I felt, and I have to thank Xander a lot today because he blocked the person that was stalking me. And I don't know, man. Now I know what it feels like to be a movie star chick. Somebody just posting shit about me, hey, over here. And I never really realized that. I remember there was a girl, like I told you guys, her name was Diane. She used to live in Florida when I was going to University of Miami. She used to wait out my door for 3 o'clock in the morning. My aunt's in here, so I have to be careful and behave myself. And she used to hang out my door. Damn. And I'm like, no, I'm not here. So, I understand this when you get stalked. But I hadn't been stalked like that in a while. And especially by a dude, I think. So I'm not sure. Okay? I guess people really just want my attention. So, all right. Hey, I'm going to take a time out here because we're going to get Joy at the bottom of the hour. We're going to get, guys, please do me a favor. Behave yourselves. All right? Just behave yourselves. All right? Where's Joy? Relax. Bottom of the hour. Holy cow. I think I'm going to have to give her a heads up over you tools. Seriously, man, if you guys act like assholes, I will never have her back again. Okay, there's only one other guy that's ever been banned. And that's Lenny Dykstra, because he was disgusting. Says, I'll be honestly stalking. I don't know, man. I've never been stalked like that before. Guys just sending me 7,000. It's good for the algorithm from what I'm understanding. Okay, there you go, guys. All right. Got to behave yourselves. I will never invite her back if you guys are assholes. All right. Do me a favor, guys. Appreciate everybody coming aboard here and our good friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in the entire country. They're number one for a reason. They win. Thousands of attorneys from coast to coast make it so that every single time they see that logo, Morgan & Morgan, you're going to get the best representation possible. How about this? If you're ever hurt in an Uber, if you're hurt at work, if an insurance company takes advantage of you when it comes to your homeowner's insurance, this is the firm to call because they will make sure they get the win for you. By the way, they don't get paid unless you win. Simple as that. Okay? They take cases that they go and do the best they possibly can, and the reason they're the number one injury law firm in the country is because of just what I said. They win. They got that family $30 million. An insurance company came in and wanted to give them $650K in Pennsylvania here. No way. For more info, go to forthepeople.com/big sills or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sills or pound law 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sill sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big sales, hit that like button, folks. We appreciate it. Joy Taylor will join us at the bottom of the hour, and we will talk with Joy. Look forward to talking with her. I believe she's a huge Jaylen Hurts fan, by the way. So hit that like button, guys. Super chats go to the top. You want to hear the most disturbing thing about a superstar ball player. TJ Watt has never won a playoff game. What do you make of that? He has never won a playoff game. Like ever. In his time in Pittsburgh. They have never won. He's never had a playoff win. I mean, the stats that he's compiled have been spectacular. Get this. Listen to this. Bryce Huff has been on a football team that's got playoff wins. This is even crazier. Myles Garrett and TJ Watt have not had playoff wins. Okay? Well, wait a second. What does that tell you then? Neither is Herbert. What does that tell you? They're on bad teams. They're not bad football players. They're on bad teams. Okay, look at this. Well, no quarterback. Okay. Bad teams. That applies to players like that too, and quarterbacks. That's the #1 thing I tell you. Hey, you see this dude here? I don't really care what he says, but at the end of the day, I don't really believe that Jerry Jones has done the best interest for Dak Prescott either. Dak's had some pretty decent teams, but he's had shitty coaching. They've had crappy coaching. Name me the best coach since Jimmy Johnson. Parcells? Okay, then what? Who? Jason Garrett? This clown they just hired now? Just because the last name says Schottenheimer, you're under the impression that that's going to work? I thought Baker beat the Steelers a couple years ago. Baker played for the Browns. Okay, I thought Baker beat the Steelers a couple of years ago, Sills. Wasn't Garrett. Oh, that's right. Baker did win a playoff game. You're dead right. You're dead right, okay? All right, Big Z. Big Z's going to join after Joy. So we'll get Xander on here too. So, I mean, that's bad football teams. I mean, TJ Watt's never won a playoff game. How could you be considered one of the greatest Steelers of all time when you've never won a playoff game? You put that guy in the same conversation with Joe Green? Boy, I don't. Shills, Jerry's more interested in building the Cowboy brand, not winning games. There was a time when he wasn't interested in winning ball games. The problem, Bob, with Jerry Jones is he doesn't like to share the stage. I gave you that line yesterday, and I said this, I go, if I made a deal with Jerry Jones to keep his fucking mouth shut for a year, and at the end of that year, Jerry Jones would win a Super Bowl, Jerry wouldn't take that deal. He wouldn't. He wouldn't take that deal. Okay? He wouldn't. Because Jerry likes the spotlight. Hit that like button, guys. Joy Taylor's going to join us in a couple minutes at the bottom of the hour here. Another thing before we get Joy on here. So some of you know now that I'm doing a radio show in Tampa. And I got some video of Deion Sanders being on the practice field yesterday at the Bucks place, at one Buck place. I got to tell you, watching Deion Sanders limping and being in poor health, it's mind-numbing. Deion Sanders is one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen and been on a field with. I've never seen anything like it. The greatest athletes I've ever been on a football field with were Herschel Walker, Bo Jackson, and Deion Sanders. Herschel was a teammate of mine. And Herschel's one of the greatest athletes of all time. He really is. Just a spectacular athlete. Bo's the best back I've ever seen. By the way, you know, I made a point about Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson's better than Adrian Peterson. He was a more talented player. He was a more talented player than Derrick Henry. He was more talented than Saquon Barkley. He was more talented than anybody you've seen. There's very few people that have ever had the talent that guy's ever had. I mean, nobody had more talent than Bo Jackson. And that includes Jim Brown. I'm sorry. The guy ran a 4.140. There was even a mythical thing where Bo ran a 3.9. Here, let me double check that. There was a story that he ran a 40. Bo Jackson. Did he run a 3.9 40? No, Bo Jackson, here. Bo Jackson did not run a 3.9 40 at the combines. While there are rumors and claims of him running a 3.9, the fastest he ever ran was a 4.12. He was 344 pounds. I thought it was Ryan too. He ran a 3.9. I've had Bo. We should get Bo on. We should get Bo Jackson. Can you get this? Bo ran a 40-yard dash, 230 pounds. He ran a 3.9 or a 4 flat or a 4.1 40. And it was electronically timed. I mean, but again, to see Deion limping around, he's got like a couple of toes are missing or something. He's in poor shape, man. I mean, you guys, I know, you guys can't fathom that, right? Bo Jackson ran a 3.9 40. There's people who were there that saw that he did it at Auburn. at the track at a track meet. He ran a 3.940 for the NFL scouts at 344 or 244 pounds. Sil's honest question: why did people praise Tomlin for switching Justin Fields for Wilson? Then at the end of the year, Tomlin wanted to play Justin Fields more than Wilson to stay? Probably. Fields left instead. I think Fields will regret that going to New York. I really do. I think he'll regret that, going to New York and playing. Just a tremendous – I'm really sad to see. The year we played against Deion Sanders, I played against Bo the year before when he was at Auburn. And Miami played against Auburn in the kickoff classic. But Deion was a freshman. Testaverde won the Heisman Trophy that year. And I think Vinny threw 6 picks that season when he won the Heisman. And 3 of them were to Deion. And he was a freshman. I mean, just insane great. She's not sure if it's correct, but there's a story that Bo was able to stand in a swimming pool waist deep and jump. There's a couple guys. Tristan Wirfs can do that. The big thing with Bo was, you ever see him break a baseball bat like this, like a toothpick? Dude, he was just a freak. I've never seen an athlete like him. I know him relatively well. Okay, I mean, I know him pretty well. But he was rolling around the Buck camp, and he's just in poor health. He was out there seeing Shiloh. I don't really think – I mean, unless Shiloh is going to be a good special teams guy, I really don't think that Shiloh is going to be a guy that's going to make that football team unless it's going to be something to do with special teams. So, yeah, I don't believe he's going to do that. So isn't that stat is crazy that TJ Watt has never won a playoff game in Pittsburgh. He's never won a playoff game. All right. I'll tell you what, one of the most talented people that I know, and I'll tell you what, my family loves her. My daughter, my wife, we all do. She's such a great talent. And sometimes when you're at the top of your profession, people take shots at you. I love what she does, too. You know what she does? She's got an FU mentality. And she just tells people and rolls things off her back just the same way she's done her entire life. Ever since I met her years ago. And then she looked at me and she goes like this. You can do that, Dan? Yeah, you're going to be my update guy. You're going to do the update. She goes, you're going to do that? I go, I have complete control of my content. I always have. And then she went from there to a big, giant superstar. Here she is, my friend, and the super talented Joy Taylor. How you doing, Joy?
Hi, Dan. What a great intro.
Well, you deserve it. You've worked your ass off to get to where you are, and people take stupid shots at you, and you always just roll them off. But you've been that way, Joy, since I've known you. I mean, you know, you've always had to overcome things. You've always had to overcome innuendos and things like that, and you've always rolled with it, and you've always become, and now you've become a great broadcaster. So I think that's warranted. I think you've really done a great job with your career.
Thanks, Sills. You know, if you check Twitter, I just popped up. That's why I love when you share that picture from the broadcast. I was like, listen, I've been doing this a long time. How many years ago was that?
Oh my God. Let me see. 2012?
Wow.
Do you
So
remember
like,
being out there with Saban? Let me tell you what she did too. We did a remote out with the Dolphins, and Joy, we're sweating our baguettes off out there because it is hot as Hades out there. She goes out there and she just starts. She got Saban. I forget who else. You've got a whole bunch of guys to come over and sit with me. And then I remember my wife goes like this. I need a guest. She goes, I'm going to get him. She got me Dan Marino at Bob Baumhauer's. Remember that? Or like Bob's place, his restaurant. There was me and Marino. So God, that was a long time ago. And the great.
That was a good producer. That was the best producer.
Oh my God, you were so good, man. Oh my God. The only problem that So let me tell you what Joy did too. So people came, they had a pack of like pictures for me to sign. She goes, yeah, he won't be doing that. She's like, he won't be doing that. Joy, let me get your takeaways on some Philly stuff here. Why is Jaylen Hurts the most scrutinized quarterback, in your opinion, in the NFL right now?
I think Jaylen is the first. So what I mean by that is we have not adjusted our evaluations of quarterbacks to match the modern quarterback. Like, we still have this old school idea in our brains of what a quarterback is supposed to look like, what their main skill set is supposed to be, the style of play that they have, the kind of offense that they run. And Jaylen is the quintessential modern quarterback, meaning he's truly a dual threat quarterback. Because you don't have to do that much digging to know that he can throw the ball. I mean, obviously he has two premier wide receivers. He is the one getting them the ball, and they're putting up numbers every single year. He can throw the ball, but obviously he is an elite runner and is a very strong runner, hence the tush push. And he's had success doing that. We have not, as media and fans and just the sports community in general, adjusted our brains to the modern quarterback. And him being a true dual threat quarterback, maybe even a run first quarterback, if you want to go that far, he's been the first one to win a Super Bowl. So we're kind of like, we need to like update our software, you know? And I think that's part of the reason why, because Lamar got, and still does gets a lot of criticism. Lamar, as successful as he's been during the regular season and the numbers that he's put up during the regular season and the talent, obviously, that he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. So we still have kind of this resistance to running quarterbacks that is like, okay, you can be a running quarterback, you can be a talent that is a hybrid, but it hasn't actually turned into success until Jaylen Hurts. So I think he's a product, or I would say a victim of us not being able to evaluate quarterbacks properly yet.
You know what, though, Joy, here, here's my problem with it, and you're right in everything you're saying here, bud. Here's my contention, how people will look at a Herbert or they'll look at someone else and go, well, Hurts has a really great roster. I'm not going to penalize Jaylen for being on a great roster. However, I'm also not going to penalize Justin Herbert for being not on a great roster, or I'm not going to penalize Josh Allen for not being on a great roster. I mean, if we're going to use that metric and say he's got a really great football team, which he does, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo and also Brock Purdy have gone to Super Bowls, Joy. I mean, do you really have to be an elite quarterback to get to a Super Bowl? I don't think you do. So why do those guys, though, we don't use the same metric? Like Justin Herbert gets killed because he hasn't had success in the postseason, where Hurts gets a lot of love because he's on a good team. Is that part of the narrative you're talking about on changing how we look at guys? Because, again, some guys get heat, some guys don't get heat.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with like what we're looking at, right? Like Justin Herbert is visually a beautiful quarterback.
Yes.
Like he's big, he's strong, he has these incredible, plays and throws that just, he puts up these big numbers in his rookie season. Like he looks like a guy that should have a lot more team success than he has. Then you look at his roster, you look at the turnover at coaching, and it's like, okay, maybe this makes sense why he hasn't had that success. And he's also very young. We want things to happen like this, like this, like this, and that's just not realistic. Most of these guys are not going to have chief runs in their career. If they win one Super Bowl, that is a massive success. I mean, for all the things that we say about someone like an Aaron Rodgers, he's won one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right. And like we say it like one, like it's not a big deal. Like that's a big deal that he's won one Super Bowl. Like it's very hard to do. The good team conversation around Jaylen Hurts to me is very confusing. And I kind of liken it to, it's not an exact parallel, but I liken it to the Kevin Durant criticism, like when he went to Golden State. Now, obviously, Jaylen Hurts has played his career there. It's not exactly the same comp, so it's clunky. But the criticism is like, okay, well, he won those because he played with a good team. Well, it's like, yeah, isn't the point to have a good team?
Yes.
Like, isn't the point to have a good coach and a well-run organization and a GM that stays busy? Like, I'm not going to penalize a guy because he's with an organization that knows what they're doing. If anything, I'm going to criticize other organizations for not getting it together and holding back incredibly talented players and having us be thinking that it's the players' fault when in reality
Yeah.
it's a complete bleep show. So I think it's on all of us to kind of look at the holistic situation. But the Jaylen Hurts criticism to me, especially coming off of a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP, is just, it's getting kind of silly at this point.
So you think, again, when that list came out and they had him ranked down there at the bottom, I see, Joy, I say this, here's what I have him 5 because of one thing. He'll never be out of my top 5 guys because his resume, you can't get around the resume. I mean, the objective is to win. I mean, so you could put the other 4, you can have Lamar, you can have Burrow, you can have Allen, you can have Mahomes. Okay. But that guy belongs in that conversation, man. I mean, the resume, you can't just go, well, you know what? I mean, visually, he's not that guy. Well, wait a minute. Well, resume-wise, he is. I mean, you just can't get out of that. How did you take that? Do you think he's a top 5 guy?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you won.
Hopefully we could get her back here. Hopefully we're just like a little stuck here. So she's killing it here. So hopefully we're able to get it. Here we go. We got her back here. There we go.
Discussion.
There we go. There we go, Joey.
So one, you're measured against your peers. So what have his peers done? They've won MVPs. They've gone to championship games. They've gone to Super Bowls. Have they won a Super Bowl? No. I mean, Burrow's been to a Super Bowl, didn't win. Lamar's won MVPs, hasn't been to a Super Bowl. Josh Allen has won an MVP, hasn't been to a Super Bowl. To your point, the goal is to win. He won. and he won the MVP. Like, he's the winner. So take that compared to his numbers, compared to him making to the playoffs every single year that he's been a starter, a sustained level of success. What are we talking about here? If we're talking about like pure throwing the ball talent or whatever, like, okay, we can have that conversation, but that doesn't even necessarily mean that any of the guys in the top 5 are the best quote unquote throwers of the ball in the league. This all becomes like a very sensationalized, like, preference conversation. The measurement is success, whether it's numbers or team success or a combination of the two. And you have to be measured against your peers. And he's doing more than his peers are doing in the same era. He's beating his peers. I don't understand what the conversation is. And he's playing the position. Like, however good his team is, are you telling me that these other guys don't have good players alongside them, that they don't have good coaching? Like, what is the thing that he has that is so infinitely superior than all of these other organizations have? Do they have some sort of cheat code? I mean, maybe you would call Howie a cheat code, but I think it's a weird criticism at this point in his career. Like, early in his career, before he had won, before he had put up these numbers, like, fine. But you have to update your information. And at this point, he's the winner. He's got to be in that conversation. He's got to be in the top 5.
Last couple questions for you here, Joy. I look at the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm wondering where the Cowboys are going. This is the 10th year now for Dak. You got the highest paid players potentially with Micah Parsons getting that $42 million deal. You got CeeDee Lamb. You got Dak. I mean, Joy, where are we going with the Cowboys here, man? I mean, I see a 7-win team there, right? I mean, who's going to run the ball? They can't stop the run. Philly's running circles around them in the NFC East right now. I mean, are you expecting anything out of the Cowboys this year?
I mean, we're only talking about Philly. What about Washington?
Yeah, right. Washington now with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I mean, and I know nobody thinks anything of the Giants, but I think they'll be a little bit better this year. They at least, have some quarterback play, so they could easily steal a couple games within the division and make it interesting. I don't know what the Cowboys are doing, honestly. Like, I felt like the hire for Schottenheimer was a very strange hire. I didn't think that they should have fired the coach. I don't think that Schottenheimer was the right hire. I could end up being wrong, but I feel like it's a lot more of the same. It's a guy who doesn't have a lot of gravitas, and that Jerry can sort of, maneuver around. I don't see massive improvements from last year other than health. And I don't think that they're anywhere near the Eagles or Washington within their own division. So you're slotted at third in the division right now.
Yeah.
And the thing with the Cowboys that I find, I kind of feel like they're at this inflection point as an organization, because, we always joke like, hey, it's been 30 years, it's been 30 years, it's been 30 years. But at some point, you have whole adults with like families who have never seen the Cowboys do anything important.
Joy, Blockbuster was a thing the last time that they were relevant. MySpace was a thing, when they were relevant. You're right on with this.
And I just don't think they're aggressive. Like, they're kind of like all bark and no bite.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because I think Dak is super talented and capable. I think that CeeDee is obviously an unbelievable talent. I think Micah is generational. They've had a whole list of like incredibly talented rosters, and it's like they can't get out of their own way, and it's been going on for decades. I do think at some point, though, it's getting a little bit redundant, and when you miss your window of the division being, easy, which they have, now I don't know where they go, because outside, if we're just looking at chalk right now, not accounting for injuries or anything else, Philly and Washington are so far ahead of them.
Got it. They're so far. Joy, what's next, hon? What are we? Are you sitting? I'm assuming you're in Jamaica, so I'm going to go there. Hey, everywhere. I've never seen a more of a world traveler in my life. You're in Paris. You're in Jamaica. You're over in over in Italy. I love it how you're getting and going around the world right now. But hon, what's next here after that nightmare? And I'm so happy because I know there's going to be opportunities that are going to be enormous, and then someone's going to grab an enormous talent with you right now. But do you have anything, or are you just chilling?
It's so funny. You're teasing me, but I'm leaving for Europe tonight. I'm in LA, but I'm leaving for Europe tonight. The trip was already planned, so this was my Euro trip for the summer. So I'll have some announcements soon. I appreciate you and many others reaching out and checking on me and offering advice and help. But you know me, like I'm.
Oh yeah. Oh no. You know what? When people they were asking me, people from all over, they were going, "What do you?" I go, "You kidding me, man?" You may not look it, but she wears a suit of armor. Okay, she's got a suit of armor, and don't think you're going to get to her, because believe me, that's not who that pro is. So I'm very sure of it. So I'm going to end it with this one. My Canes, are they going to make it to the Final Four? By the way, your brother's kicking ass coaching that D-line. He is kicking ass coaching that D-line. I talk to Mario all the time, and he loves Jason being part of the program, and he's been such a great asset. But do you think, do we go to the Final Four this year? Is this the year that we start to climb back up into the room a little bit here?
Yeah, I think so. And it's not our Canes, because Jason is coaching there, but Isaiah, my nephew, is there as well.
When did he get there?
He was hurt last year, but he's back now. So Isaiah Taylor.
Oh, and you got the other kid with the Jets, right?
And then Mason, Mason is with the Jets.
Everybody in Philly wanted him. Believe me, everyone in Philly wanted him to be signed by the Eagles, and they wanted Howie to sign him because they didn't know what Goddard was going to be, if he was going to be back or not. So they really wanted him to be there too. So you think this year's the year, huh, that we get back to the Final Four?
I think so. I'm really excited for the Canes this year.
Yeah, no Al Golden. We don't have to worry about that guy any longer. I used to kick that guy's ass.
Those days. Oh, my God.
I love you so much. You know that. Kim loves you. Dee Dee loves you. By the way, you see the pictures I posted, Dee Dee? playing rugby and all that, man. I
It's
know you do.
crazy. It's crazy. Time
Crazy.
flies.
No
Please
doubt.
tell,
man.
please tell Kim and Dee Dee I said hi. I love you too, and I really appreciate you always. You know
You
that.
bet. Hey, listen, you make sure you travel safe, okay? We'll catch up again.
I will.
Thank you, honey. All right.
Thanks.
That is my friend, Joy Taylor. Hard to believe you guys behave yourself. Hard to believe, but I thank you. Sanders right. So this guy wants me to hook him up with Joy, and he sends $1 super chat. I mean, really? Hey, Leon, I mean, I was gonna say something because Leon started a war up in like Oslo, Norway the other day. Leon goes like this: Sills, hook a brother up. Okay, so I don't know. He sends $1.99. Come on, Sills, hook me up. $1.99. Come on, Hoss. Where are we going with that? Hook me up. Sills, hook me up, man. $1.99. Oh, I will say this. We'll have her on again because you behaved. Okay? Man, I don't know. We'll see. Best interview of the year. Good job, Sills and Z. All right. She shredded your Jaylen Hurts narrative, Sills. Hey. Oh, my God. I'll tell you what. Dory Jackson shredding Keely Ringo. Oh, man. Dory Jackson. What happened? What's a Keely, man? Is a Keely like something you pick off a tree? I'm very disappointed in you, Leon. Very disappointed in you, man. Yeah, the guy wants me to hook him up with one of the most beautiful women in broadcasting. He sends $1.99 and like a bag of Skittles. Oh my God! Here's $1.99, Sills. All right, we're gonna catch up with our boy here soon, man. Hold on here for a second. Here's Senor. Sills, keep his mouth shut on Joy's Jaylen Hurts take. Wait a second here. Wait a minute. When I get someone on, I ask them their opinion. Okay? By the way, that was her first public appearance. That was her first public appearance that she made on anywhere, was right here on JAKIB. So, still's got to collect himself. Why? I started her in broadcasting. Why would I have to collect myself? That'd be you guys. I started Joy Taylor in broadcasting. Yeah. Since her show, that's right. Since she got fired. That's the first time she's been on the air. Yes. Where do you think you were going to get those people? What do you think? This is why this show has the best guest in the country. She said, what does Joshy Poo, Burrow, and Lamar got on Jaylen Hurts? Super Bowl ring? Like I said, we did talk about the better team, though. Again, like I said, who's on the better teams? Sills, you were worried she was going to have Reyes notes and call you out on your nonsense. My nonsense? What nonsense? The shit that Vic said all day today? All the stuff that I said in the offseason? Vic echoed it. I thought I was listening to an echo chamber today. Let's recap what Vic said. I felt, by the way, how vindicated could Big Sills be today listening to Vic Fangio talking? Everything I said, Vic said today. We are working on it. As you know, we always get our man. Especially after Hogan passes. So here, let me go here. You see Vic's take on Jordan Davis's conditioning? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's my take too. Great. Wonderful. He's in shape? Wow. I did like the kid's interview today. I did like his interview. What was the other one that I dug? On Vic. Oh, yeah. Hey, why don't you guys pipe down on Andrew Makuba and Jaylen Hurts? Hey, why don't you guys pipe down? Wait, did you guys laugh? Nobody laughed because everyone's like, no, nobody laughed. Yeah, nobody laughed. But here's the one thing we did learn from Vic. I'm going to bring this up with Xander here in a second. Get this, folks. Quinyon Mitchell's going to travel. Cooper DeJean's going to play either in base in the corner, in the safety position, and in the slot. And you're going to see guys being used on the corners of the edge rushers in different roles. And you know what else you're going to see? Adoree Jackson. What was the date I picked? Let's see here. What was the date that I said Adoree Jackson would beat out Keely Ringo? Here it is. April, May, June. There it is. June 11th. Big sales. Adoree Jackson beats out Keely Ringo. Who won the day today, baby? Day 2, Leon. You better get the Viking up there in Oslo, Norway. I mean, you better start another one. This is day 2 now. That old Keely's having troubles, man. All right. Without further ado, and I got to give him credit, by the way, finding time for us too, man. I know that he's real busy and all. Yeah. Without further ado, my boy, by the way, he's working his ass off. Don't forget, right after the program, I'm assuming. Xander, is that right? We got a show right after this too, so we'll get you more of an update about what's going on and what happened over there at day 2 of the Eagles camp at NovaCare. So let's bring him up right now, our friend, Big Z.
What up, Big Sills? What's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I don't know how this chat's doing, but I'm doing pretty good.
I'll tell you this, man. Guy Leon wants me to hook him up with Joy, and he's sending me $1.99. I'm like, come on, dog.
Hey, listen, I got love for Leon, but I was getting a kick out of this chat, man. A pretty lady comes on the show, and it's like, have these guys ever been out of the house? I mean, oh my goodness. They must spend a lot of time at bars with dudes, Sills, like you always say, man, because I don't know what the heck was going on in here. But pretty funny. By the way, great interview.
She's great.
In all seriousness, I thought she had really good takeaways on the Eagles.
Loved Jaylen.
Yeah, on the Cowboys as well. I thought she hit the nail on the head a lot. It was a good interview. And as always, Big Sills is a great interviewer. So well done by you.
How about this, man? She said that, if we can make it work a couple times a month, she'll do it for us. So we'll have her on during the season. And I'm sure she'll be on to big things too. And she'll be doing stuff with us with big things. So I'm looking forward to that.
The new stipulation will be, if you want your comment to hit the screen, you will have to surpass $1.99. If Joy to read your comment, it will be a minimum of a $5 super chat.
Absolutely, man. Come on, we're trying to impress her, guys. I mean, what do you take her really out for? If you're going to get her a bottle of something, you're going to buy her a bottle of Asti Spumante or Mad Dog 2020. Come on, Leon.
I saw some dude in here saying, guys, a used Nissan Altima is not going to cut it for Joy.
Oh my God. Hey man, so let's get into some of the comments that were made today, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, you got to update me. I didn't have a chance to really consume it all because I was not, I was at the dealership dealing with some stuff today, which I got everything done and done and dusted as I always do. So all good, but you have to give me some updates. I got the night show tonight, Birds 365 as well, Big Sills.
You got it, man. So here were the players that won the day, according to people out there at the NovaCare Center. Mac McWilliams, Adoree Jackson, Moro Ajomo, and Jahad Campbell.
Yeah, Jahad.
Those 4 guys. And you know what they were saying? They want Keely Ringo to win the job. John said that numerous times as well. But the guy making the most noise right now is Adoree Jackson. Now, Xander, this could be just this. Adoree Jackson's got a shitload of reps in his career.
Yeah.
Is this a reps thing? Or that he'll get better, but again, you've got 40 days until the start of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, do you really think, like Tupac would say, all eyes on me here, man.
Yeah, look,
here we are, right?
And the thing with the problem with the Ringo discussion is that simply Adoree, like you just said, knows how to play.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of reps, like you just said. I mean, that's the problem. If you're battling versus another guy that is inexperienced, and I think Ringo wins that job because Ringo does have pretty good athleticism, pretty elite upside as a player. He's the right frame. He's got the right size, the right speed, and everything. So the battle for him is going to be even if you're developing nicely. If week 1 rolls around and Adoree is more sound at that position, you already know what Vic Fangio is going to do. Vic's not waiting. He doesn't care about your contract. He doesn't give a shit about where you were drafted. Vic Fangio is going to put out the best players on the field. And I think
that was made clear today. That was made clear again today.
Exactly. So I think that's the issue with Ringo. But look, I'm not out on the guy at all. Did anything else come out today that he got burnt toast again or no?
No. It's got that there's more buzz going around Adoree Jackson right now, and it's state too. Now, again, would this be a fair comment? Don't you think he's under the most pressure of any player that's in camp right now?
I think there's some pressure to go around right now, actually. I mean, I think Tyler Steen's under some pressure. I think Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt are under some. I mean, look, hey, you're the 2 guys. That's it. It's you 2. So I think those guys are under some pressure. I think Makuba's under pressure, but I do think it's a little bit lesser because he's a rookie. So he might, he's not even
latitude.
Yeah, he might not even realize yet the type of pressure he has. So Ringo is probably the top guy in terms of pressure, but I think there is a couple of other dudes up there. And look, I'm hopeful he wins the job, but I do think that caveat that I mentioned with Vic is a real thing. Like even if he's showing signs, but it's not there yet, they're going to default to Adoree Jackson. Again,
absolutely.
Vic and Howie are going to see this very differently. Howie's the GM who cares about the contracts and the draft positions and the future. Vic wants to win the football game. If Adoree gives him the better chance to win, you better believe that he's probably going to put Adoree Jackson in there. So look, it's not a bad problem to have, but I did see someone tweet out today, AJ Brown's kind of taking Ringo to school a little bit, which is what he said he was going to do. Which is what he said. Yeah, it is good. It is good. But you wonder if eventually Vic just does kind of default to the guy that is more sound fundamentally.
Do you think there's a potential that they would go out of the building and look for somebody? Or do you think, or to what Vic said today, their objective, by the way, all super chats will be read at the end here. Xander, because today, one thing Vic said that I thought was interesting. Here it is. I wrote it down here. He said this, we want Cooper in base at safety, base in corner, but that's going to determine on the roster, which means this, the lesser guy probably is where Cooper's going to see more action, which what we said yesterday when we were throwing that at you. So he's going to plug and play him. He might get more reps at corner. He might get more in base at safety.
Yeah.
It's all going to be dictated when it comes to the roster. So here, get this, Xander, check it out. I mean, there's 3 new defining roles. Do you agree with this? I learned one thing about Q. Q's going to travel. Slay never traveled. He said,
they said he's going to at least be in a little bit more position to do it this year. They're playing him on the other side for that reason.
I remember what he said today at the press conference when asked. He goes, "Hey, what was it like playing on the other side?" Which was a dope ass response. He goes, "No, I don't really think there's any difference." I'm like, dude, there's so much different technique and foot.
I know.
He just went like this. Fuck that. I didn't feel any. I'm like, that's a guy who's so gifted that it doesn't matter where you put him. So you're going to travel him. You're going to line this other guy up in a different role, and you're going to have Cooper potentially, like I said, at safety, at corner, and he's going to be in the nickel. You got a new defining role there for him. I mean, I think that's really great. I mean, when you hear that those two guys have been given more responsibility, I learned that from Vic today. How about Vic saying this? That we got a lot of job openings right now, and I can't tell you who's going to be the winner at those positions.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, you certainly do. We all expected this, and I will remind everybody how quickly it can change, especially at this time of the year. You know, when the season gets going, things start to settle in. You know, you start to see, okay, this is who's going to play here. This is probably who's going to be here. You know, this guy's not going to get as much playing time as we thought. Remember training camp last year? All right, you had
same thing.
Devin White was going to be a lot. Like you had so many different things last year in camp where you would have never expected the season to unfold the way it did. So don't lock yourself into anybody right now. Allow the open book to kind of be read and move along. And I think it's a good. I think there is some element of it that's good. You know, I think Vic sounded a little more confident than I expected him to. Not in the sense that he knew where everyone was going to be, but from a sense that he felt like he had enough guys in every spot.
Like he figured it out. He's kind of
a little bit. Just that, okay, even if I have Cooper here and this guy here, I feel good about who could be there. You know, I feel like Vic sounded pretty good about it. Now, I didn't hear the player press conferences yet, so we're gonna get to those in a second here, but I'm gonna do two things, the good and the bad here. I'm gonna do the good first. Jahad Campbell on the field. And he goes like this, you know, he looked good. It's helmets and shorts, so you got to be careful here when we're talking. However, he knew where to line up. And plus something else that we brought up. Remember we said this? Maybe you put Campbell and Bond out there at the perimeter, at the edge, in a rotation kind of situation, and you played Trotter and another linebacker inside here because he said, yeah, we're working him a little bit out there. He doesn't want to show his hand too much to people on what you guys are doing there, but I mean, that was great news having Campbell on the field and those guys being part of the process and trying to figure out the Rubik's Cube, right? 100%. I don't think anybody expected Campbell to be on the field this quick. And I think he's got a chance to be ready week one. I mean, this guy's practicing right now.
Yeah, no, I got
it.
What?
You know, originally we thought he might be ready for week one.
Did you hear what Vic said? Vic said this. And according to Senor, because Senor's an asshole, I'll tell you flat out, Vic even said this. I love that my trainers kind of like, you know, they kind of like under promised and over delivered because I was told he wasn't going to be ready, and there he is. So that was a good thing. I agree with you. He might be.
Yeah, I mean, remember though, we thought that he might be back for the year, but we were thinking if he misses training camp, remember what Vic did with Cooper last year. Cooper was healthy in week 2 or whatever it was. But he didn't get any camp. So Vic kind of stashed him away a little bit. Like, I thought that's what was going to happen with Campbell. Now you're telling me he's out there day one of camp?
Yep.
I mean, I feel like this guy's going to show so quickly to Vic, like, you're not going to want him off the field. You know, it's one thing for a guy to not be ready. It's a whole nother beast to have a guy sitting there, and he's as good as Jahad Campbell is, and you're like, well, wait a second. I got to get this guy on the field. You know, I have a feeling he could be ready for week one. Now, I'm just speculating. I don't have any information or anything, but I do think that he's going to be really good when he is ready to go. And because of that, Vic's going to have to make probably a tough decision somewhere to get him on the field.
You know what, though, dude? I think the bad news was, in my opinion, I did not feel that he felt comfortable that Nakobe's going to be back for a while.
I agree. Like you could see his face. He was like, I don't know when that'll be.
Yeah.
He said, not week one.
Boy, I don't know, man. It seemed like that guy might start the season out on the PUP list.
Yeah, I think so.
Where he misses the first 4. Okay, I mean,
it's unfortunate because Nakobe could be. You could start to see the writing on the wall for Nakobe, and I don't think any of it's his own fault. You know, I obviously
It's just the way his body's made.
Well, I mean, even though last year was a little bit more of not a freak injury, but a different style of injury, and he was playing so good, man. He was playing so good. So I kind of feel bad for him, but look, that's the nature of the beast, man. But staying healthy is a part of this game and a part of this sport and a part of this profession. So he might get the old-fashioned Wally Pip right now, where somebody, if Campbell's ready to go,
I'm not pulling a first rounder out.
That's what I mean. And I think Campbell's going to be good enough to not take off the field. So that's going to be your issue with Nakobe Dean. How the hell do you get him on the field even once he gets healthy? Yeah. If you got a guy that can be out there. Now, maybe they don't like Campbell or Bond at the mic, and that could be Nakobe Dean's saving grace in a way where they want him out there for the mic, but it will be interesting to see how that one plays out. I agree, though. That was the one spot Vic was he wavered. Yeah.
He really was not. When he went like this, no, I don't know. I don't know when he's coming back here. So let me get some player comments here. Boy, they really all have this mentality. 2024 no longer exists. It's in the rearview mirror, and that's a different team. It was great to see those guys, but these guys are not looking at last year whatsoever. And I got to tell you, man, Landon said something that I want to throw in that, I kind of approached it a couple months ago, and you've been kind of talking about it as well. He said this: Jaylen's been given more responsibility. Do you think that Jason Kelce, somebody used better words for it earlier today when I brought it up, you think Jason Kelce stunted, delayed, prohibited? What would be a word you would use on Jaylen's progression as a quarterback? Look, he's won, but I'm talking about playing the position.
Yes.
Quarterback, not winning. Do you think delayed?
I think delayed. I don't want to say stunted.
It's not a blame, Xander. I'm not looking to blame anybody.
No, but that's why I chose the word I chose, right? Like I think you could say stunted, but I don't want to say that as a knock on Kelce, because I think Kelce was really just doing what he was asked to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the All-Pro center. He was the Hall of Fame guy. He's been here longer. He's got the experience, and I think if I said stunted, it would show at least some level of negativity toward Kelce, and I don't think that's what it is. I think it's more that was the circumstance, and it slowed Jaylen down. So delayed, I think, is the right word. Now,
it was unintentional though, too, right? It was not intentional.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I think maybe in hindsight, I would have maybe liked to see Hurts grab that bull by the horns a little bit more. And say to Kelce, yo, I want to learn this. I got to do. I want to have. Now we can have a communication system, but I got to have some. I got to be able, as a quarterback, to get to the line of scrimmage and look around and see what I see. Now we might not always agree, but we got to have some form of communication, because I got to start developing that level of that part of my game. I don't know if that happened. Maybe that did happen a little bit, and that's why Jaylen was able to take improving it so quickly last year. But I think delayed is probably the right term for it.
I'm going to throw something at you here. You may completely disagree with this. But, okay, so what you just said, and Jaylen Hurts, when he was at the mic the other day, said this. Yeah, the coaches are asking more of my input. They're asking more of my input on the approach, how we're going to attack this year, and also on the game plan of how we're going to prepare. Right. And they're pulling it out of me, and I like it. And after what we just said, you think Jaylen Hurts has been he's such a coach's kid that he goes with what the coaches are telling him, that he's not been proactive enough for him to grab the bull by the horns, because it's the second reference now in 3 days that's been made to that, where he said it himself. They're pulling it out of me, and I'm welcoming it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I view that entirely as a negative. I think obviously
not a negative. I'm talking about growth as a player, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe there's something to be said about your point about him being a coach's kid and just being so used to being given the blueprint for how to do it. And I think Kelce actually added to that too. Because look, like exactly. for example, though.
But isn't that an evolution also that quarterbacks go through?
It is. But the reason it's delayed is because most other quarterbacks would have come to the realization that Jaylen has come to a lot quicker. Like you're telling me Cam Ward's going to start in wherever, or Tennessee, right? Cam Ward's going to get to the line of scrimmage. There's no fucking Hall of Fame center or organization telling him, hey, this is how you got to do it. He's going to be responsible. Hey, young man, this is a part of you learning.
Yes.
So in a way, I will say this, though. There is maybe a positive to it because it allowed Jaylen to develop his on-the-field skill set.
Yes.
Which he has obviously developed very much. And then once that was a little bit more established with roots in the ground, okay, now I can add this to my repertoire. Versus most quarterbacks who come in, even another good example would be a guy like Caleb Williams or Drake May, or take any of these young guys that come in, they got to hone their skills. They got to hone their on-field play. They got to hone their leadership. They got to hone the line of scrimmage. They got to hone all that at once. So Jaylen, in a way, there is some advantage to it in that regard where I think he was able to develop the other things without having to worry as much about that. And now that he's taken that on, he was almost more prepared to learn it quickly and learn it the right way because of he didn't have to worry about too much other shit.
Remember, when you're at Alabama, bro, you're not going off that game plan. Nick Saban's such a dominant guy. You're fucking going with the game plan of Bill O'Brien, those coaches.
And same with Oklahoma, by the way, with Lincoln
Riley. That's right. You're not coming out of the room with Lincoln Riley and going, I'm going to play here and do this. So the way he was coached, and maybe now, like they said, we're doing more of that. And again, I think it's an evolution of a player. I don't think it's a negative, Xander. I think it's growing into a role.
Yeah. I actually like the way I just explained and viewed it with maybe that gave Hurts a little bit more time to worry about, the skill set early. Yeah. Becoming a quarterback early. You know what I mean? Because I remember that was the common knock on Hurts early in his career was how good can he throw the ball? Can he manage a passing offense? Is he accurate? Can he get the ball out in time? Can he throw the ball into tight windows? Can he read defenses? All those different things. And I think he was able to take a lot of steps forward in all of those areas. And then once he was asked to do what he was last year, and now that he's really stepped into it, I mean, like you said, you heard him at the presser. They're pulling on me more. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good progression for him, a good timeline of development for him as the quarterback.
I'll tell you something else I heard that I loved. So during the whole process of Dallas Goedert getting asked to take a pay cut, Hurts is on the horn with him, telling them how much they needed him, how much I wanted him. I know that this may not be the best situation and how it's being played out for you, but as a team, really, do you think $1.5 million going to Tennessee is going to really help your career instead of staying here and maybe proving people wrong? I mean, I think there was some talking into it because you know what? Most players would have just been butthurt.
I think there was talking into it to the organization too. Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying
Goddard said today that Jaylen was calling him every other day.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if Jaylen Hurts hung up the phone with Goddard and got on the phone with Howie Roseman and said, yo, dude, I know you're managing.
No, I think he wanted him.
Listen to what I'm saying. I think he called Howie and said, yo, dude, how much money are we trying to save here? Because I want this player.
Okay. All right.
And
so now maybe he was playing middleman. So you think he was playing middleman?
Well, I think he probably made it very known to the organization of, yo, we're trying to go back and repeat a Super Bowl. We're going to save what? A couple $1 million to move on from Goddard? Is that really worth it, Howie? This guy's an integral part to our offense, especially with the steps forward that we want to take next year. I'm speculating. I have no idea, but based on what Goddard said, I don't think Jaylen was calling Goddard and then not talking to the organization. I mean, remember, Jaylen Hurts is the highest paid Philadelphia Eagle. That goes for coaches. That goes for general manager. The only person in that wears Eagle green that makes more money than Jaylen Hurts is Jeffrey Lurie. That's it.
The only reason why I think that this is significant is because one of the things I've been critical of him on is I've never heard him step up for his players in public.
Well, I think he does that a lot behind the scenes.
Oh, that's what I'm saying here. Is right here. I believe what you're saying, that he was sticking up for his players and his player behind the scene, because he may have been a pseudo negotiating going, like you just said, are we really going to save just $3 million? Because what was it? It was some sort of really.
Yeah, because remember, they were going to have dead cap tied to it. They were going to have a bunch of stuff tied to it. Like, it wouldn't have been a move on from Goddard and you say
Right, it wasn't a gaslight contract.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't crazy at all. In fact, I thought the thing that held it up was that Goddard probably wanted more years, because of his age.
And a bonus.
Yeah. So I don't know. Look, I'm happy Goddard's back. I think it's.
But I'm happy Jaylen was part of that process. That's
and look, those are some of the things with Jaylen that are always going to be harder to see than with other people.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
He is a naturally reserved dude.
Yeah.
Much more. We talked about this. I mean, I think yesterday or before.
Yes.
But I think that's natural with him. So some of those things you might not see as open or out front, and it would take a player like Goddard saying that, to realize that Jaylen was involved in that process. But I think a good baseline of thinking for most Eagles fans would be Jaylen probably does have his pulse on most things. He also, as much as subdued as Jaylen is, he also strikes me as the kind of guy that doesn't want to be in control of everything, but wants to be in the know. Like, I care about my team and the success of this team so much that I expect to, at the very least, understand the plan. All right, you're going to move on from Goddard. Okay, what's our plan? Like, I bet you Jaylen is that type of dude who asks those type of questions, and I think that's a good thing. I'll
tell you what, he could be a bigger asshole right now after winning that MVP and asking for more money.
Yeah,
I mean, like a lot of players do, and he's not done that publicly.
How about that story from his agent? Did you hear that story earlier in the summer?
I did, and this is part of that. This is part of that stuff. So let me get to Jordan Davis now on what he said. I'm not going to lie to you. I liked it. And I liked what he said, and I'll tell you why I'm buying a little bit of it.
Buying from who?
Jordan Davis.
Okay.
Here's why I'm buying what he said, and I'll get into what he said here. Because of his conditioning and how he looks coming into camp. And here's what he said. My role is bigger. They've asked for my role to be bigger. They asked him about losing weight. He says he has more energy, he has more focus, and he notices it in practice that he's got more energy to be able to stay on the field. He wants pass rushing reps. He's lost 26 pounds. Here's the other stuff. He went from 330, he's now 330. He's put the work in, and he goes, I do not want to be a run stopper. Not that there's anything wrong with that. He says that's cool. However, I've got to be a 3-down football player. And to me, my number one job is to be a 3-down guy. I would usually call bullshit on this, that you've not done any of this in your time since you've been here. However, the conditioning part of him coming in shape makes me pause and go, okay, well, he's done something here that he hasn't done before. And that is that, one, they've told him they want to roll for him. And I personally think that Jalen Carter is pushing him because you know what I would not want? That guy's getting so many roses. And, hey, I'm a fucking good player too. I want to be that too.
Yeah.
I think you got good competition like you got Mulata and Lane. Great internal competition creates a great roster. This kid, I think here, and by the way, I love his attitude. I love how he smiles. I love the whole thing. And I'll give it to him here.
He's a good kid. You can tell he's a good kid.
He's a good kid, right? And you know what? You root for that.
Yeah, 100%.
And so
did you get the sense from some of those comments that they didn't just come from him either?
Oh, I think people have had come to Jesus conversations with him about where you want to be in your career.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. They don't just come from him. I think the organization said
to me, it sounds like Clint Hurts talking.
Yeah. I think maybe even bigger. I think, see, again, I'm going to speculate here. I think Howie's the type of GM with a player like that where he says, now, Jordan, we're not going to give you the deal yet on top of your 5th-year option.
You think they were that bold?
Wait, but I think he says to him, you do this, you get to this level, you show me this, I promise you a bag of money's waiting for you on the other side. But you got to earn it. You got to earn it. And again, I'm speculating. I don't know if they actually said that to him, but when he spoke like that, because I heard it too, and when he said the things that he said about, I understand now that my role is bigger than others. That to me was somebody got to him and said, yo, dude, we don't just want you to be a run stopper. We want you to be the leader of the defensive line. We want you to be the guy on the defensive line next to Jalen Carter.
Okay.
In order to do that, you got to take your conditioning seriously. You got to take your job seriously. You got to be the best leader you can be. You got to be the first one in, last one to leave. Like, all of those things come with that territory. Okay. And I think that maybe those conversations were had, and I give Jordan Davis a lot of credit for.
You've got to be very careful on who's carrying that message, though, because what you don't want to do is circumvent people that are going to be coaching the kid and who's going to be paying. Now, what you're suggesting is that Howie Roseman has individual conversations with players over the coaches and potentially even their agents that say this. Hey, listen, you think that an agent has this kind of conversation with a Jordan Davis? Hey, look, son, I want to pay you. I want you to be here. I want you to be part of the future of this team. But right now, I don't feel comfortable really making a huge investment in you right now. Or do you think I find that hard to believe that conversation, but
yeah, maybe not.
But wait a minute. You could say it this way. Hey, you have put us in a position where we're here. We want to be here with you. Now, who makes that convo? Is it Nick? Is that Nick? Is that Clint? Or is that Vic? Because you know what it sounded like to me with those comments? That sounded like Vic talking to him.
Yeah.
Because one thing I heard again today from Vic, whoever fucking plays is going to play. Whatever that looks like, I don't know what it looks like yet. Like he didn't hear it.
It might be. I think it could be all the above, man.
You think they will? Okay, everyone had input in it.
I think his dad, his mom could have called him and said, dude, let's fucking go. You got an opportunity that people dream of being afforded. You know? I give a lot of credit to Jordan. I know. Obviously, look, I understand where you're coming from when you're like, I'm not going to.
No, I liked it today. I liked it though, Xander.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think we get lost in the it's what he's paid to do, and forget the human element that a lot of fucking dudes don't do it, man. That's just a reality. A lot of players who make it to the NFL don't reach their potential. All right, that is more common in the NFL though than the opposite, where guys get in and they just don't make it because they just weren't good enough. That's far more rare than a guy having all the potential in the world and doesn't have as long of a career as he should have, or doesn't get paid the money he should have gotten, or doesn't get as many snaps as he should have because he didn't want to do the work. Jordan did the work. I do think I'm going to give him a little credit for that, although I do understand your point as well.
Hold on. Let me tell you where I'm coming from. What you just said.
Yeah.
I didn't reach my potential because I did stupid shit and I didn't do the right things. Had nothing to do with ability, dude. You know what? My wife and I were standing in a fucking in a grocery store. Butch Davis looked over at me and went like this. You talked yourself off the fucking Dallas Cowboys because of your fat fucking mouth, and because my wife, she was my girlfriend then, looked at me and goes, really? That's pathetic. And I sat there, and so maybe how I look at Jordan is, son, don't blow something that's in front of you that you have such a great opportunity at doing way more things in your life that you want as an individual talent. That sometimes when I see a player like that, you know what I'm saying, Xander?
Yeah,
that, you know what? It bugs me when people don't fulfill destinies.
So I think that's partly the reason you're wired the way you are, with especially when you talk about this game. And I think that's a good thing.
It's a lost opportunity I had. I look every day in the mirror and go like this.
I
fucked it up.
Yeah, but I'm not here to sit here and bash you for what you did or did not do. Remember, there were also things that happened in your life that were out of your control. You had different things happen. I mean, my point wasn't. Now I do understand where you're coming from, and I do think that's why some of this shit hits home for you, where you have a guy that you see more potential in, and when they don't realize it and they don't go for it, it brings you back to the nightmare that you lived and the things that you think about every day as your career has come and gone. And you're like, what the fuck? Don't do it. I promise you, you'll be my age and you'll regret it.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think that's a good thing. I mean, I think that's strong introspection by you as a person. I mean, you know, look, here's the reality of life. Not everybody gets to where they want to get to in life. Not everybody achieves the goals they want to achieve in life. Like, that's part of it. That's the ebbs and flows of life. Right. If you learn from it and you are capable of looking at where you went wrong, and this goes for anybody, and you can address that and improve upon that and use it to teach somebody else, then I think you're doing a good thing, and you're doing what God called you to do, because at the end of the day, we're not all supposed to be as blessed as we are. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody hits the home run. Not everybody gets, you know, everything they think they should get in the world. And that's a brutal part of life. So that's not just football. That's a brutal part of life, my friend. Believe me, I started this company 5 years ago. We started building. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm gonna be cooking in a couple of years. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has it in some way or another. So I get it, and I think it's partly what makes you a great broadcaster, because you give your everything to this. You know, absolutely. You do, and I think a lot of people who listen to you and just hear that you shit on the Eagles, they don't want to recognize that. But there is a reason I love your show, and I love the way you do your show, and I think that's a big part of it.
I'll tell you one reason why I don't take days off and I don't take shows off. You know what it is? I let myself take my career off, and I never want to have something I love ever to slip through my fingers again. And so to me, that's why it's always hard when, you know, situations in my past have on, and not to go down that lane, but because it's more about Jordan, and I'm like, that's what I see with him, man. I mean,
yeah, well, I think that's complete. I think that makes a lot of sense what you're saying, though. I don't think you're going down a bad lane at all. I think it's real human shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and my dad, again, I always say this quote. My dad used to say this to me when I was a kid. And when I was younger, I didn't quite understand it because I was a fan. I just wanted the team to win. And I didn't give a shit about the athletes who were making all this money. And in my eyes, I was like, you make $50 million. What are you crying about? Like, that's not what life is. Athletes are people who play games for a living. The people are important. The games are not.
That's right.
You know? They're real fucking people on the other side, regardless of how much money's in their bank account. They got shit in life, right? Yeah. They have things going on, and I think it all matters. I think it's all real good conversation to talk about, because it is the other elements that go into a player. You know, a lot of times we as fans, and I'm guilty of this sometimes too, is just, you know, their numbers on a board, or their players on your team, or their guys on Madden, and they're interchangeable, and they're, you know, oh, if you're on the field, you should be doing that. Like, there's no element to understanding the deeper complexities that come with the human beings that are playing the game. And I think your story sheds light on that.
When you hear other people on the air and other radio stations like IPNM, and I hear people talking, and I'm like this, you're taking the human element and completely not adding that to what makes people tick. You know what? I'll tell you what you did too with Jordan. You made me realize again one thing about the human aspect of it with him. There's a human element here. Not every guy's wired like that. Some guys have to be kicked in the ass. Some guys don't have to be kicked in the ass. Some guys have to be hit with a hammer. Some guys have to be hit with a feather. And I always have to remember that. Because, again, not everybody's motivated with the same motivations that push people forward to greatness. And to me, when you have a chance and you have greatness and you can touch the holy grail of greatness, that to me, I don't want you to miss the opportunity that I did. It's there for you. It's within reach. And I see so much. And again, I like the kid today, and I bought it because you know why? The first time I went, he did something that showed me had nothing to do with football. It had nothing to do with talent. He got in shape. Kid, you got me. You got a chat for me now. Good job. Right. I'm ready to roll with him.
Yeah. Now take the next step. Now keep going. Right. Take the next step. Right.
That's right.
It is a process. It's one journey at a time, brother. No doubt.
Okay. One last guy here. Then we'll do the supers. This Quinion Mitchell, man, I would use a word for him. The word would be boring.
That's
mean,
a good thing, man. That's a fucking good thing.
He is just like, they ask him questions or one-word answers. Not a very good interview.
He's just a low-key dude, man. He's just a low-key dude, yeah.
Hey, what do you think about going on the other side? No big deal. I don't care. And the guy goes, all right. And then what I loved and what I took away, because you know me, man, I'm one of these guys. I see a tea leaf and I turn this thing into a giant pedestal, whatever it is. I go, so they were asked a question about Cooper. He goes, hey, about Cooper moving around this and that. He goes, yeah, he's doing a good job. Then he moved on like that. And I started thinking this, these two guys must be having a nice little competition with one another. And I like it because, again, there it is. You're getting the Great White Hope. There he is over there. Over on Wildwood. Everyone loves him. Everyone's kissing his ass. He's doing this. And there's Q over there going, wait a minute. I was one of the top corners in the NFL last year. I'm one of the most talented people on your football team. Okay? I mean, have you ever seen a Ricky come in and do the shit I did? That'd be a no. So I'm kind of liking this, man.
I like you, man. I like you. I like dudes like that too, man. He's got, he shows, some people are just like, yeah, I just want to play ball and then go the fuck home. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to be there. I don't want fame. I don't want followers. Like, all I want to do is go play ball, get paid, and go home. Like that. That's
none of that.
Yeah, he strikes me as just a low key dude who, and that's what he wants. But the one thing I love about that is he takes his job very seriously.
Oh yeah,
it's one thing to do that, and
he's a serious dude.
Yeah, not really give a shit about the performance that you put out or the product that you're doing or whatever. You're just kind of doing it as a paycheck. I think he actually does.
He's a hardcore guy.
Yeah, he's real hardcore, which is dope. I love that. I like that a lot.
But absolutely. All right, let's get to these supers, my friend.
Yeah, I got the 6 p.m. show coming up.
Don't forget, guys, Birds 365, those guys. Again, Xander, great stuff this morning with some content. I watched it again. And then also, too, you're going to get Birds 365 here right after the program. So make sure you stay tuned to that. So
yeah, good stuff.
Some of these supers, brother, and I'll let you out of here.
Good stuff. Jason, what's up, man? We got a lot of supers today. Thank you all for the great people of JAKIB Nation. You guys upset me a little bit when Joy Taylor hits the screen and like everybody's like, oh, holy shit. I mean, you guys didn't know what to do. I mean, oh my goodness. I hope nobody in your families was reading those comments or anything.
Holy cow, man. Like they've never seen a they've never seen a chick before.
Knuckleheads.
Like they've never seen a chick before. I was like, what's going on?
18 checks in. He says, this is the best show on earth, and I got a lot of good ones I watch. Kicking it with the realest dudes in my life. I love my JAKIB fam and can't wait for this season. Belt to ass. Thank you for JAKIB for bringing it, fam. Jason, I love you, brother. That's a cool comment, bro. I really appreciate you. And I think I take pride in that part of our business. And I think you do too, or that part of our channel. A lot of people it's one thing to just entertain or just talk sports or just talk X's and O's. I think you get a little bit of all of it here. And I'm proud of that. 18, thank you for recognizing that, brother. I appreciate you, man. Abe says, Jaylen Hurts gift to Merrill was dope to see. Boy, that was dope.
Dude.
That was dope,
I was
man.
touched.
Talk about a special dude. I think that Jaylen Hurts is a special kid, man. I think he's
that touched me, dude.
My favorite thing about Hurts is Sills, and I said this when they won the Super Bowl, but even more, the more things happen, the more he proves it. He is who he says he is.
Genuine.
He is the motherfucker that he said. We all laugh, the T-shirt slogans and the quotes and this and that. And, he actually is it, though. Like, he actually walks the walk. And I love that about him. That was a great gift, Dave. That was a really cool moment.
And I love that Merrill shared it with us too.
Yeah, that was really cool. By the way, I'm producing, and sometimes you guys got to understand, I'm producing Silio's show, and he drives me nuts because I'm just like, like Merrill's like sitting there. He clearly didn't want to go get the shoes, and Silio's like, yo, can you get the shoes? Can you get the shoes? I'm like, yeah, let Merrill pay. But look, this is what I know, though. Sills knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
I got the shoes. Wait, I got the shoes.
I know. You got the bite. That's right. JD says, set me up with Sydney Sweeney. Here's $2.
Oh, my God, man. $2.
$2. Here we go. T-Bone! What up, T?
T-Bone, thank you, T-Bone.
He says, hello to my two favorite bookends, Big Sills and Big Z. I'm back. Well, kind of, sort of. Still way too early for me to get excited. Once the final cuts occur, then I'm all in. Then we will know. Peace. That's a guy. Brother. That's a guy that's watched a lot of football in his life, isn't it?
Absolutely, man.
That's a guy that's watched some
T-Bone,
football.
thank you, brother. We appreciate it.
T-Bone, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. B Pump checking in. Dolores Jackson not beating Keely Ringo. Y'all smoking a Pez dispenser.
Come on, Pump. I know Keely's your boy. Hey, man. I don't know. 2 days in a row now, man.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Me too, man.
I'm wondering. Josh Bay, what up, Josh? He says, last year the cornerback battle was rotated every day for the first month between Isaiah and Ringo, then Q1 at LOL. Don't be surprised if different. It's good.
No,
there you go.
I think it goes down that lane, Josh.
Yeah, that's true. Josh Bay, good comment, man. I appreciate
it. Brother.
Bearded Willie, what up, Bearded? He says, Xander's that tough act to follow, looks wise. I guess you're talking about Joy Taylor. That's all right. I don't take it personal. Angry Dog says, Joy didn't shred Sills' Jaylen narrative. Sills just needs a software update. I'm sure Big Z can load some new firmware in that big empty dome.
That's actually pretty good. That's actually well written. I'm gonna
let's give one more. Wait, is Leon still in here?
That's a winner, right?
We gotta pull this up one more time. Leon, Leon's got a couple extra bucks laying on his desk. He said, I'm shooting my shot at the great Joy Taylor today. Joy, I love you. You're so pretty. And he tosses it up on the screen. Leon, you thought I was bashing you. I actually wasn't. I respected it, Leon. I love you, brother. I appreciate it.
Hold on. $2.
$2.
$2.
That doesn't even cover the 5 minutes a day that Sills is late every day. Are you fucking kidding me? East Coast Rico says, out of the 7 new coaches, who's set up to win now? You talking about the new coaches in the league?
I'm going to say Ben Johnson.
That's what I was going to say.
I think it's Ben Johnson, man. You know?
That's who I was going to say.
I think Aaron Glenn's got a tough putt this year. You know who the backup quarterback is?
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah. I don't know. Aaron Glenn, he was a really good DC. I'm curious to see how he works as a coach.
With the Jets, right.
B. Preston checking in. What up, B. Preston? By the way, I got a question for you. I thought you were like Brian Preston. I think you're a girl. I'm not sure. I've been calling you bro. So if not, you just let me know. All right. Sometimes it's hard. I read a lot of usernames a day. She says, or he says, I'm not sure what. I met Q at a gas station. I'm all hyped up. I'm like, yo, you're Q. He goes, no, that's not me. I was like, huh? Mind you, he has Eagle sweatpants on. I'm like, bro. He eventually gave in, laughed, and gave me a pick. That's funny as shit. He's that low key. He don't want to be known at all.
No, man.
I'm not Q. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm not Q. Come on, man. You're Q.
Yeah, that's funny. That's
man.
A good super chat there, too. All right, I think we got them all. I got to run because I got this night show coming up.
All right, man. All right, Big Z. Guys are killing it, man, as always, man. Just keep up the great work and keep killing it, man. Dude, you turn into a great broadcaster. Keep it up, brother. I'll see you in the morning. Thank you, bro.
Sills, that's in large part due to you. So thank you, brother. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for all the great support you guys give us each and every single day. It's going to be a fun football season, Sills. It's going to be a fun football season.
Can't wait. I cannot wait.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
You got it. Thanks, Big Z. Don't forget, Birds 365 right after the program here. All right, let's take a time out here. I have only taken one, so let's do one here. Hey, folks, and then we'll run it all the way up until the top of the hour when we go right into Birds 365. Our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason. With over $30 billion recovered for families across America. And the reason that is because the thousands of attorneys go to battle for you. That's right. They go to battle for you. And every time they see that logo of Morgan & Morgan, you can guarantee this. They are going to win and put the best effort they can in to making sure your family's protected. If you're ever injured, whether it's in an Uber, if an insurance company ends up not giving you your right restitution when it comes to your insurance policy, this is what these folks do, and they've done it for over 25 years. The easiest decision you will ever make is by hiring Morgan & Morgan. I'm promising you, folks, this isn't just a line. This is what these people live by. Do me a favor. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or PoundLaw529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or PoundLaw529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Hit the like button, guys. Appreciate you guys coming aboard. Thank you again. Guys have been great, okay? And I'm glad to see a lot of people returning back. And by the way, this is going to continue to get bigger and bigger again as we get into the season. I do want to say something. We started the program off and the passing of Hulk Hogan. You know, my relationship with him was very cool. Got a chance to know him in Tampa. He used to come into my studio when I was doing Morning Drive on WDAE. He was friends with Bubba the Love Sponge more, but he would come in my show there. And I got a chance to meet him because I lived in Stamford, Connecticut. And believe me, the offices are like a stone's throw away from my house. I mean, isn't that crazy? The my aunt who comes in here, and she's in there all the time, the WWE offices are like a stone's throw from my house. And Hogan would be running around the beach. He'd be down there walking around on Chopin. He'd be all over the place. You'd see him all over, and you got a chance. He was very accessible, by the way. And then when I got into the business, also I got a chance to talk with him. He came over, and he didn't wrestle, I don't believe, in the CWA. He may have, but he wasn't in the he wasn't wrestling when I was in CWA, but I think maybe he had in the past because he had gone, I believe, to New Japan also. But I got a chance to talk to him. He came over. Road Warrior Hawk and him were great friends. And he's just a great guy. Legendary career. 71 years of age. Had a heart attack in Clearwater today. I'll tell you this. When the whistle blows, no matter who you are, yeah, we're going. And he's lived a full life, man. And really a great entertainer. A good dude. I remember he introduced me to Elizabeth when I was in Tampa. And hey, Randy Savage, the Macho Man. I got introduced because of Hogan. Macho Man lived in Tampa too. And Macho Man was just crazy. Those guys were all just crazy dudes. And I think I met Scott Hall through him. No, my wife and I met Scott in a different environment. Yeah, it was. I think Paul Orndorff I may have met through Hogan. I met the Giant. I met Andre. I met the Wild Samoans, I think, through Hogan. I mean, look, Ozzy and then, right? Ozzy and then Hulk Hogan goes. Two enormous icons. All right. You have to know when you hear people that are constantly ripping somebody that you know that they're relevant. So Bill Belichick, you guys will love this. All the shit that ESPN has been giving him about his 24-year-old chick. You want to hear this? This year, ESPN is going to broadcast 10 UNC games nationally. Do you hear what I said? ESPN is going to air, 10 of the University of North Carolina games nationally. So you're taking a shit on the guy, but then you're going to air his football games. It would not shock me that Belichick wins 9 or 10 ball games this year. I mean, right? Wait, so Bill's this, you want him out, you don't think he's going to do well, but you're going to air 10 of his football games. Come on, man. So which is it? I mean, all right. What's the other one here? Oh, yeah. Okay. So he was named today the starter in New York, Russell Wilson. Guys, I don't know what happened in New York. I do not know what happened to the New York Giants. You know, it used to be at one time one of the greatest franchises in the world. When Wellington Mayer ran it, it used to be totally one of the greatest franchises. I mean, they had great GMs. They had George Young. They had Jerry Reese. They won 4 Super Bowls. They've done so many great things. But in the last 20 years, is it 20? Oh, my God. The Giants have stunk. They have just stunk in the last 20 years. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, now you're naming Russell Wilson as your starting quarterback. Where are the Jets and the Giants going? The Jets now supposedly have lost Justin Fields for like a little bit because he's got an injured toe. I heard he was carted off with an injured toe. All right. And you're naming Russell Wilson as your starting quarterback. Hey, look, I love Sierra. I told you guys, one of my favorite women of all time. I mean, I don't know where New York is going. I really don't know where you're going. I mean, I don't think at this. How about this here to show you how bad New York is? I don't think you could put two teams together, the Giants and the Jets, And I don't think you could get 2 players or 3 players that could start in Philly. Now, wait a minute. Sauce Gardner would probably start in place of Ringo. Who else? Dexter Lawrence would probably start in that D-line might – wait, I'll take that back. That D-line in New York might start. The only guy that would have a job would be Carter. Actually, that's true. New York's D-line, the only guy that could start in New York right now would be Jalen Carter, because Jordan Davis is not beating out Dexter Lawrence. He's not beating that guy out. That guy is here, and everybody's over here. You know what I'm saying? Giants defense. I don't know about this, Forrest. I don't know if the Giant defense is legit, but I do know that front four is legit. Okay, Sauce Gardner could probably, Sauce is going to start. Dan, you could combine both New York teams, and I'm not sure they'd make the playoffs. That's a better one. That's right. That's a better one. I'm not sure both teams would make the playoffs because they don't have a quarterback. They don't have a run game. And I'm not sure either team has an offensive line. Boy, I'll tell you, Philadelphia Eagles' second-team offensive line might start for the New York Giants or the New York Jets. Outside of the left tackle in New York, I mean, you couldn't put those teams together like that. So, yeah, Sauce would start. She shows you how good that shows you how good the talent is. I will say this about Vic today, though. Brian Burns would start for sure in Philadelphia. I'll give Vic a lot of credit today, what he said. Here, you are going to get the most transparent conversation. Vic might be the most transparent coach I've ever seen, maybe since Buddy Ryan and maybe Parcells and Jimmy Johnson. Those guys were always as transparent as possible when you spoke to them. Vic is maybe too much. Seriously, if you're the Eagles, I mean, you must gasp when he gets behind the mic. You just must gasp. He said this. We have a lot of positions that are open, and there's a lot of jobs that are up for battle. I mean, if that's not telling the players to compete for a gig, here, the big battles, corner, safety, that linebacker spot, the 2 edges, 1, 2, 3, are all up for grabs. And then here's the other gigs that are up. Who's the rotational linebackers? You got a rotation linebacker, you got a rotation safety, and you got a rotating corner that's up for gigs. That kid, Mac Williams, may be your rotating. That kid, Mac Williams, may play himself into Isaiah Rodgers' role. Okay? He may be this year's version of what Isaiah Rodgers' role was last year. Okay? Adoree Jackson is honestly a good corner. Way better than Ringo. Ringo's probably a better athlete, though. But Adoree knows the position. How about this? Xander said something right. Adoree just may be ready to play more and quicker right now than Ringo. How about this? Ringo might win the job in week 5. And Adoree might start the season out because he knows how to play the position, and the Eagles might want a guy in there. I mean, remember, here, let me do this. How many days are we out from September? How many days are we out from September 4th? And here, what is it, 42 days? Right? We're like 42 days out. Let's see here. How many days are we from September 4th?
September 4th, 2025 is in 42 days.
42 days. We're 42 days. He's not going to get better in 42 days. Now, he needs reps. But he might get better in 3 months. And he may end up winning that gig. You know, they want him to win that gig, Keely Ringo. 42 days that kid has to win that job. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to win that job. Like I said, he might win that job week 5 when they feel more comfortable. Right? He may win it because he's a better athlete, I think. But Adoree may be ready to play the position now. So, I mean, take a look at it that way. And get this, Keely might be the swing corner for the first couple weeks to get him acclimated into the position. And then he ends up winning the job. That's what Vic was saying today. You know, Vic was saying and making that comment. All right. By the way, we're going to have one of the radio legends on tomorrow from Chicago. We're talking a little football with him, and we're also going to talk a little Bears. That's one of the surprising teams that I think will be in the NFL this coming season. His name is Mike North. Look it up. He's like the Howard Eskin of Chicago. And we're going to talk with him. And it's the first time I've had an opportunity, so everyone's kind of looking around my business that we're going to have myself and Mike North together. They always watch when we got Howard and Angelo Cataldi. So we got another radio legend coming on with us tomorrow. So we'll have him at 4:30. And I appreciate you guys a lot. Stay tuned right now for Birds 365, a special edition. Xander will be back in the morning, too, for some content. Be prepared to see John's stuff start floating around there on the shorts as well. Guys, tomorrow, 2 to 6, and we'll see you on the flip side.